Yo, 12 Up Podcast, episode 15, I think.
You think?
Right? I think. Yeah, we got
Let's hope.
Shaun back in the house. He took a 1 month vacation, like literally, which is amazing. We got to talk a little bit about that when you have a chance. Dakari in the house. I think the amount of time he's held up the podcast is more than he's been on the podcast. So we've been waiting about 2 hours for him to hop on, and we're probably only going to record for an hour. So, you know.
Take that out of my wages.
Yeah,
it's a great intro.
You'll be weighing the negative. He'll be weighing the negative.
Oh, at this point, I'm working for free. So
he ain't gonna get paid till 2029. Anyway, how's it going? It's been crazy. It's been a good week for me. How about you guys? How's it?
Oh, solid so far. A lot of rain where I'm at, but can't complain.
Same.
Oh yeah, it rained here off and on.
It's raining
like
here
Florida
too.
Over here, it like rains randomly and then stops and then rains again. It's wild over here.
But you got a weather machine over there, rich boy.
Yeah, man.
Hop on the G4, change the weather.
I have just a sun, like a bubble over my house, and I make the sun come out and go away.
I mean, you are a Republican, so.
I am not a Republican. I am a liberal.
You and your weather machines.
Oh yeah, I got a Bernie Sanders doll here. I'll show you that proves I'm a liberal.
A LeBronâ?
A little Bernie doll.
Like a voodoo type doll?
Wait, hold on, let me show you. I'll show you.
Or is it a Barbie ambassador Bernie Sanders?
Oh no.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he got one.
Yeah, he got the LeBron one.
Keep my Bernie.
Oh, wow.
I'm Bernie bro.
Oh wow, look at that.
I bought this.
He looks like Larry Davidson.
I thought that was one of the Muppets.
Larry David, yeah.
Larry Davidson, 2016.
You can't talk mispronouncing Donald Glover's name yesterday.
Donovan Glover,
boy.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, there's actually a lot of shit to talk about. I want to jump right into the topicos. I want to talk about Trump though and his plane. That's your guy, Stone. So
he got a plane. He got a plane. He got look.
They give him a $400 million jet and land to build a golf course with his name on it, not USA, Trump name on it.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Of course.
you get another country, give you a golf course and a plane. Look, you can't say no to that. I mean, somebody offer you a plane, a golf course. I mean, you just say.
You're literally supposed to say no when you're the president. You're literally supposed to say no.
It's in the Constitution.
Well, there's a lot of things you're supposed to say no to when you're the president, right? But we know that doesn't happen as much as it should. So,
I mean, no. It does happen. Not with this president, though. This is what I don't understand. Like, this is even me. Everybody's like, okay, why aren't we impeaching him yet?
It's a new world order, man. People don't care anymore. It's social media now. I mean, everybody's on the Diddy trial. Nobody's, the president can get a plane. It's a blip in the radar in the social media element.
So it's gonna take like Melania rubbing nut on his chest, and there being videotapes of it for them. To care if he's a fucking, and they wouldn't even care if that happened.
They wouldn't even care. That would just
they're gonna be like, that's his wife. So
no, but he's some other dude's nut though in this video.
Depends. Are they in the cabinet?
I mean, probably. I mean,
if it's Elon's nut, who cares?
Listen. Back in the '90s, right? And I read some of the the court documents when we saw what Bill Clinton was doing to Monica and the Oval Office.
I knew that was coming up.
Yeah, with the cigars. So I mean, shit. A lot of things happen behind closed doors, and then when they come into the open, it is what it is. If they gave him a plane, they gave him a plane. He said, "Look, I'll be stupid to turn it down." Then he took the plane. I mean, I don't think anybody cares much about it.
Fire though. Did you see the?
Oh yeah, the plane is the plane.
I didn't even think it was a real plane. I thought it was an AI plane.
Nah, that shit's real.
They gotta retrofit it. They gotta fit it to the thing, but they're not gonna use that plane. They'd have to. They'd have to tear that plane completely apart. They ain't flying the president that motherfucker.
Why don't they just give him the money that they use for the plane?
They can. They that's basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you got that crypto scam going. Did you guys buy Trump coin?
No, did you buy them? No. Should have just called it rug pull coin. Just been honest with everybody.
No, I mean it's got a little value now. Motherfuckers holding it, yo. You got look. It's
you didn't have a choice but to hold it after.
It's going up in value because the last look, if he ever gets arrested or killed or whatever, like the last person holding the bag, that's always the way it works. Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, whoever's going to pay you
stock
more.
Market or whatever. Yeah, whoever's going to pay you more for that piece of nothing. So,
timing's everything. Time is everything. It's what I always say. The stock market, which is true historically, right, makes higher highs. But if you was retiring the year of 2000, then you wouldn't care nothing about that, right? There's certain years that it could take 60% of your portfolio in a day. So, at that point in time, it's just bad luck, but if you can run it up high enough and take the cash and be conservative, then do that. But I'm at the age I'm at right now. I can't be messing with like crypto and like shit like that.
I made most of my money off crypto, but I was smart. I bought it when it went down, and I had cash. Remember, this was during the pandemic. Car, I don't think I ever told you the story. My friend and I shorted a stock for this coffee company in China called
Lucid. No, it was Lucid. It was Lucid. It wasn't the. No, it was.
It was this coffee company.
Luckin
Coffee.
Luckin
Coffee. Yeah. So this coffee company was basically cooking the books, and my friend was doing research on it. He's like, "Yo, these numbers don't make sense." So we all shorted it, right? And then they came out with a news story saying that they fired their COO because he was cooking the books. The stock dropped from $100. No, dropped from $100 down to fucking like 20 cents in one day.
It was like I was watching Squawk Box or something. I called you. It was like 25% down when I called. I was like, "Yo, dude, this shit's..."
As it was going down
before.
Yeah, what I had option puts for like they were like 3 months out, like option puts. And I bought them for super cheap because the stock was running. It was going higher. So I bought a whole bunch of them, and like I only paid maybe like I want to say $1,200 for all these puts, something like that. I have to go look back in my Robinhood account, but it was like I played around in my Robinhood account. After I was done cashing out all that shit, I made about 55 G's. Wow. That was my come up during the pandemic. This is in May of the May of the pandemic. Then I my other friend, I'm not going to name names, but he's not the best at, he thought the world was ending. So he started shorting the whole market. And I was like, I mean, I'm not dead yet. So there's somebody here doing something with his life, right? So I started buying stocks, and then I bought a bunch of Bitcoin at like 3,500. And after that, I'm, buying $700 and $800 sneakers and
there's always a path. There's always a path to ruin. It starts with success.
So after I got that Bitcoin, I sold a bunch of it, and then it went up, and then I bought a house, and now I'm poor again. So I bought a bunch of other shit that we don't even want to talk about right now.
Oh, we can get into it. It'll be an episode on its own.
I mean, I'm good. Yeah. I'm not great. But you got to hear this other story sooner or later. We're going to talk about it. Shaun knows already, but this is probably dumber than that. Like the talking about waste blowing money.
We got to create a segment. I got a story to tell. It could be anonymous. It could be personal.
H's Financial Stories is a podcast on its own.
I honestly think, and Shaun can attest for this, that if I had just done simple shit, like I would probably be a multi-millionaire right now.
Do you know how to do simple shit?
No. I'm talking about just like, hey, just put $100 a week into a ETF fund, and mind you, I started investing after him, but I think Shaun is way more conservative than me, and the high risk stuff that I was in, that I ended up selling or not staying with, could have made me like I bought Tesla when it was like $70-something a share, and that was my first stock trade. And I sold it when it went up to like $100-something. And this is me. I flipped like, I think it was like 25 G's worth of Tesla at that point. And at whatever, $70 a share. I'd be a millionaire off of that right now, right? Is that the math on that, Shaun? Could it split a couple? Right? Yeah, I'd probably be a millionaire off of that, yeah. If I held it. I believed in the company. I ended up buying a Tesla or two. Looking at my third one.
Well,
but
yeah.
might as well. They're giving them
So
away.
you did, yeah. You're still investing in the company.
Not really. No, I sold all my Tesla stock recently, and I'm sitting it out. I'm sitting it out.
Well, it's gonna be.
Up,
It's
right?
gonna. Yeah, it's gonna. Of course, it is. It's gonna start going crazy again.
Chinese companies start coming up in this bitch.
They will.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. He said. He has no Tesla stock. He knows. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Trump got a big old plane and a new golf course in Qatar. So Qatar, I'm wondering when are they going to start, invade? They're going to come over here and start putting, mosques and shit everywhere. And
I mean, they got a,
put over here.
They got a foothold over here. I know a lot of people that I know they're into football and soccer. Some of their teams are sponsored by Qatar Airways. Like working
economic, man. Those people know what to do with their oil money, man.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. So
trillions. I mean, they're doing trillions.
I think it's going to be a bigger push towards not going towards electric. So he's going to fuck Elon Musk. He's like, nah, we don't need you, Elon. Qatar just gave me a $400 million jet. So
it's a chess move.
Yeah. What they'll probably do though is he'll probably back in. I mean, the strategy for Elon is where to mine and get the battery, where to source the lithium. That's the issue, really, with the Tesla shit.
But that's Africa.
They're trying to identify. There's definitely some significant sites in the United States, like Montana, some different other sites. They're identifying. It's
lithium?
Yeah.
That's why people assume that he was buying a bunch of land in Middle America and down south.
Yep. And then with the mining of precious metals and different type of metals inside rock, that's coming more domestic now. It's a whole thing of extracting. You have to literally extract the metal from the rock. So those are starting to get put into place. There's a tooling mechanism that China obviously has years and years of control under doing it for so long, but now starting to move domestically. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I think electric is going to be the way of the future for sure. I don't think there's any way to stop that.
You see that African dude that's trying to?
Oh yeah, he was in Russia.
The Gaddafi thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that video? That's not.
He's only 37 too.
I know, right?
Jesus,
I'll play it.
Young.
Yeah, he met with Putin.
Putin. Hopefully that. I want to go. Where's he from? Hold on, let me. I'm gonna add this to the. I'll play the video, but he's on some shit. That's my guy. Come on. I mean, he's doing the Gaddafi. They're gonna assassinate him eventually.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's almost a certainty at this point.
Well, 37. That's a full life for somebody.
Yeah, they got rid of a couple of those guys down there already.
Yeah, so, Putin has offered total support, in his words, total support for Africa.
Yeah, they just they're going to go over there and then try to colonize and shit like they always do.
Hey, man, I'd rather have Putin in your corner than against you. I've seen some people in his hit squad. I've seen videos how they go about Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. I do not want to be on that end. You're going to get hacked and poisoned at the same time.
Exactly. All that stuff that you see in these Mission Impossible movies about people infiltrating the criminal. Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah. Shout out to Mission Impossible. I'm definitely gonna go see that. I know people don't fuck with Tom. I mean, I like the Mission Impossible joints. Y'all gonna check
Mission Impossible is Tom Cruise's last good leg. Like, as long as he keeps making them, even though this is the last one, he good money with me.
Yeah, he's still a Scientologist.
You don't talk to his kids. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Praise him.
All right, this is the joint with the guy. I don't know his name. Mumbutu something or other. Hold on. Play it.
Because he is inspiring an African revolution against the West right now. This is 37-year-old Ibrahim Traore. He is the second youngest head of state in the world right now, and what his supporters say he represents is simple: African independence. You see, Burkina Faso is a former French colony, and since he became leader of the country in 2022, he has accused France of neocolonialism, which in other words is when a country is still trying to control the other, but now just through more hush means. So when he he seized power, he started to make drastic changes. He ordered the French troops to leave the country. He expelled French diplomats and Western media. He banned the use of British and French colonial-style judicial wigs in efforts to decolonize.
If this nigga was serious, he'd killed him. I would have taken.
Well,
I would have killed him.
Yeah, with France, I mean, what a whole bunch of nations, but France
a bunch of pussies. They ain't gonna do shit.
I mean, France has done.
France, England, they ain't got no strong
stripping,
army. The
talking about
U.S.
stripping.
Army. Yeah, U.S. Army runs that shit. So whatever.
What happened?
U.S. Army is the strong. It's like the.
Oh no,
that's the
you're
force
breaking
that
up.
Is the backing is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
they wouldn't like if they went into a cold like a hot war with an African.
No, I'm talking about the
Middle Eastern
colonization.
country. I know, yeah, but that's all influence. You know what's fucked up about colonization?
Oh, it's probably the video. You might have to take.
What? Oh.
The connection is.
What are you talking about?
I think because of the video, maybe in the background. I don't know. The connection started getting a little slow, but
Oh, did you?
I don't know if it was when you started streaming the video. Yeah, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying like, what's fucked up about colonization is that after this influence is put on these people, it's hard for the oppressed to uprise because they think like just mentally that they have no footing, right? It's like slavery. There's more slaves on the plantation than there are masters, right? There'll probably be, like 10 motherfucking white dudes. Maybe they have guns and shit, but like these niggas is getting whipped and shit all day, and there's like 100 of them on it. Imagine if they just you know what I mean? They don't do it.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that did happen eventually, but yeah,
and
I mean,
Turner and
but
shit,
but initially no, yeah, I mean it's well the problem with that proposition is the first and foremost is where do you go, right? When you're brought to a whole different land you never experienced, never been in, don't know the lay of the law, right? Escaping is obviously 100% of what you think about 100% of the time, but then where do you go? So it had to take time for people to, get alliances and figure out where people were, other people to work with. But
like, let me put it to you this way: Are you gonna?
I would die if I was back then. They would just kill me because I talk too much. Yeah,
he talked back.
They would just shoot me right in the head like this.
I'm
this motherfucker
a terrible worker. I'm getting murdered. If the house isn't an option, I'm done. Like this is the concept of 100 men versus a gorilla. Where I'm gonna start speaking monkey, bro. Like I can't do this.
Yeah.
If we logically came together against this gorilla, we're gonna win, but we're not gonna do that. It's not gonna
I mean, I don't know. I'd be on the fence. I'm fair skinned. When I'm not
You're definitely in the house, bro.
I wouldn't be in the house.
You're gonna start showing Massa what's the best way to see this group don't like this group. So what we gonna do?
You think I'll be the snitch? I'll be the informant.
You'd be informative. I ain't saying you gonna be a snitch.
He said I'm
Informer.
Nah, bro, you got me all twisted up.
You're too pink, bro.
You don't know me.
Yeah, I would have to get killed because I mean, at the end of the day, I know if I'm the same person today, I mean, I don't, you could be like it's different times and all that, but the way I am, I just know I will buck too much. I'd be like, nah. They would just be like, hang this
buck
motherfucker.
Break you.
Yeah,
Shaun, they'll buck break you. Watch out.
Well, it wouldn't even be buck break. I wouldn't survive that shit. I mean, they just,
So like 100 white men tried to rape you, you'd probably kill yourself. That's what they did.
It wouldn't even kill. I'd die. I would just know.
You'd
just
die.
Be one of those situations. It would be one of those situations. I'd be trying to like get out of the situation. I would either be trying to escape.
What if they tied you up? Like they said, nah, we're gonna break you, boy. And
I'd definitely be shark bait before we even got to that point.
Well, probably, yeah.
If they tied you up, you up and had their way with you,
I'm with Shaun, and I'd be dead before then.
Yeah. You might.
First off, they wouldn't even want me. They'd be like, "This colored boy, he ain't worth his weight in shit."
Now, if they tied me up and said they was gonna rape me, I'd poop.
Boy, you be shucking and jiving.
No, I would not be shucking and jiving.
You be like, "Oh boy, before you take my butt, it's a nice butt over there that's nice and black. You might want to start with him." Next thing you know, you're gonna be in that joint with a powdered wig at the auction house selling them off.
Well, that's the thing. They don't talk about the whole the breeding stables and stuff they had, right, for us back then, and outside of the slavery piece, but going and having the women and the young children in there basically for these guys to go in and do whatever with, right. So I mean, that was the thing. that happened, unfortunately, right, with a lot of the women just getting raped and pillaged and all that on a daily basis, and to then go be out in the field like that is crazy, right? To that
Insane.
mental shit is like, whew, I'm not that strong. They would just kill me because I'm just talking. I'm trying to fight my way out. I wouldn't be strategic. I would just be on some dumb shit probably back then. Maybe take one out and be happy dying that way. I killed one of them and they just take me out, but. Yeah.
Sad times. All right, let me finish this here. Let's see what Africa is up to now.
Colonized the country's judicial system, and then he started making major changes. He started cutting ties with foreign companies involved in Burkina Faso's infrastructure development, like roads, bus stations, airports, and then started replacing them with locally equipped and trained workers, and then acquired around 1,000 road building machines for them to use. He started introducing policies to boost local control over food production and processing. He started pushing for greater state control over energy, reducing their dependence on foreign suppliers of electricity, and then in the clearest statement to the West yet, he has started buying back a number of the country's major gold mines previously owned by foreign entities. He called the purchases a reclaiming of national wealth from exploitative foreign ownership. But here's where things get crazy, because what started in Burkina Faso has now become something much bigger. They've now joined forces with Mali and Niger to form the Alliance of Sahel States, basically saying, we've got each other's backs and we're done with all influence from the West. Ivory Coast and Senegal are now also pushing to remove foreign military bases, and a former Nigerian senator described Traore's actions as the spirit of a continent yearning to be free, dignified, and prosperous. And that is exactly why we're seeing it slowly transition from one country in Africa to Africa as a whole. Because the question that's increasingly being asked is, why is such a resource-rich continent that literally powers the world so poor themselves? Now, here's the problem. We've seen revolutions like this in Africa before, and they haven't ended well. Back in the 1980s, Thomas Sankara led Burkina Faso with almost the exact same vision Traoré has now, rejecting foreign aid, nationalizing roads and railways, and calling for true African independence. But just 4 years later, he was assassinated. His policies were reversed, and French firms regained contracts for roads, railways, and ports in Western Africa. So is Traoré walking that same path? We don't know. But there are reports that he has survived 19 assassination attempts in 2 years. However, not all those claims have been verified. And it's also important to note that Traoré has his critics. Some call him a dictator because he rose to power in a coup. He's postponed elections, he's banned the media, and he's cracked down on dissent, and critics saying no country has ever developed under democracy. So the question is, what do you think? Is this just another dictator grappling for power, or the man to ignite a long-needed change for Africa? The world
Yeah, man.
needs
I agree with that. Power to the black man. And like, 19, you said? 19 assassination attempts? That's wild.
Yeah. I think they tried to get Castro like 600 times over the years. Which is crazy. They tried to get him left and right.
Dang, man. But nah, I mean, I'm all about it. I might, if this thing keeps going the way it's going, I might be on my Nas and Belly shit. Let's go back to Africa.
Well, that's happening. There's a lot of
let's
expats to Ghana and stuff, man. I mean, people are going, in droves.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of land opportunities. I have
Don't they
actually
have
real estate.
Don't they have a thing built over there for Americans?
Yeah, so you
to
can
buy?
path to citizenship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who is a client. He's in Sierra Leone for like a month, and he's looking to buy property out there. He's in like some program where they like help him integrate and help to find opportunities to buy land out there. So yeah, I mean, it's it's we explore the space to see if there's other places that we can habitat, right? So why would that not be the case for another country? I mean, eventually, maybe 100 years from now, America won't be the dominant country. Who knows? I mean, but we are the fact that we are in the middle of, right, we're separated by oceans makes us strategically in the perfect position. Yeah
Man, where'd Kari go?
I don't know.
What the fuck just happened? I don't know, keep moving. So Tory Lanez got stabbed up.
Man, that shit's crazy.
Yeah. Devastated. So if you look at it, Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, to the back of his head, and 1 left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed and has placed on a breathing. He's been placed on a breathing apparatus. He's now breathing on his own, despite being in pain. He's talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he pulled. That he is. I forgot how to read. Pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. You know what's wild about this, though?
That the blade was in the shape of a stallion.
Oh, that's what happened for real?
No.
Oh. Megan Thee Stallion.
The stallion sends her regards.
You said that was amazing. No, I heard. Wasn't there something about they were asking about him or something? I saw some.
Yeah.
I didn't get to read it. What was that about?
Yeah, well, they sent out. So there's some exculpatory type evidence that they're trying to do during the appeal. So they reached out to, which is the driver or security guard or who was at the scene, who now is saying that the best friend admitted that she shot Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez was just trying to get the gun away from them. There's another witness from the scene, a neighbor, that said the same thing. He saw a guy trying to get a gun out of someone's hand. There was a tussle, whatever. So there's a lot of weird situation with how this happened, but they reached out to her camp, letting them know they have this information. And then a couple of days later, he got poked up in the pokey. So basically, she lied for her friend, so her friend wouldn't go to jail? There was a lot of iffy stuff with the friend. I mean, they gave the friend immunity, which was weird. Like, the friend didn't have any charges. Why did she get immunity?
With this girl? Do we know that?
No, they're not friends anymore.
So, and they put him in the jail because he tried. Now I don't know if he tried to protect her. Obviously he didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, it was something weird. Yeah, something weird has definitely happened with that whole situation. But now, because of what happened to him, they had a whole press conference about it, his legal team, and the whole thing is, look, his life is in danger. We have this evidence. We need to get him out.
To get him out.
Yeah.
Protective custody, all types of
Retort.
He needs to come home. He didn't do nothing, apparently. So I guess Drake and them was right. They was always defending him.
That's all you wanted to hear was Drake was right. You don't care about the man's innocence or not. You just need to validate that maple leaf. You might as well be Canadian. Montreal H, bro.
I'm not a Drake person.
You're the Drake person. You're not a Drake person.
Is it Becky?
What the fuck the function?
What
the fuck the function? That's what they said in jail.
Give me a hug.
All he heard was you saw the mess hall clear out. Where the fuck the function? Damn,
well, Tory got his new album. Did his new album drop yet?
This is a great pub.
Promo,
yeah.
This is great pub.
I mean, look what it did for 50. Shit.
He gotta have a song with 21 called Knife Talk. Gotta bring Knife Talk back. Knife Talk Part 2.
Drake and Tory Lanez. Yeah, but Megan could be
That's
in trouble.
crazy.
They never put people in jail who lie. I mean, white people. Did you hear that story that went viral that happened years ago where that man spent like 45 years and 50 years in jail?
Yeah.
Because two little white girls lied about him.
Yep. Pointed him out. So
this is what happened. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just skip to the end of the story. The two little white girls were having, like, their cousin molested them in the woods or some shit like that. And, like, something happened where, I don't know if they got in trouble or whatever. And then they made up a story saying a black man raped them.
Yeah.
So their older cousin molested both of them. And they made up a story saying a black man raped them. And then they randomly picked up this guy off the street. No DNA evidence.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was online.
It's like the Central Park 6.
Yeah, 5.
It's like the same type of thing.
5.
Central Park 5.
Yeah. I was the 6th guy. I got away.
What?
I was that age back then. That was my era. But
that's how you got your money for real.
Yeah, I wish, man. Imagine spending like 20-something years in jail, and then they made money, but I couldn't spend 20 years in Rikers. I can't spend 20 years in the county jail. I went to jail for one night, I almost killed myself. I couldn't do it, man.
Well, Rikers is essentially the equivalent of the county jail. That's what Rikers is. It's the state, New York State. That's the New York State. It's not.
County jail is different.
It's not a
local
prison necessarily. You're there while you're
they
pending.
hold you. Yeah.
You're there
You hear
while
about
you're
that kid
pending.
who I forgot what happened. Like they thought he stole a backpack, and they held him in Rikers for like.
Oh yeah.
This is years ago.
He ended up killing himself. Yeah, he killed himself.
I don't know if he
He
killed
hung
himself.
himself. Well, one guy they had in Vikers for a long time. They hung himself. They did a documentary about him. I have to find his name, but he ended up hanging himself.
I don't break the law. I'm never gonna break the law. I can't break the law. I've walked that fine line, but now I get a parking ticket. I pay that shit right away. I stole something once. It was exhilarating, but it wasn't worth it. I could have been.
Did you go back and pay for it?
No.
Khalif Browder.
I got away. I got around. Khalif Brown. Yep, that's the kid. Yep. Yeah. He was like 17 though, and they said something about stealing a backpack, and then he ended up dying.
800 days. He was in solitary.
800 days.
Jesus.
800 days for some bullshit that he didn't even do.
Yep. And then he got out and he hung himself. Yeah.
Damn.
Yo, the prison system is crazy. Yeah. But either way, just don't do any crime. Just stay away from them. But sometimes they arrest you for no reason. You know what I mean?
That's why I can't believe. That's why I could never be for the death penalty because of that reason. If it's gonna kill one person wrongly, that's enough. I mean, damn, that's the worst thing ever. You didn't do some shit, and you get the death penalty, and you actually get killed off of that. Like, and then
retroactively found out that you didn't.
Man, that's happened many a times.
Well, yes,
too many times to count. Yeah, like, too many times.
Killed them, my bad, and they're just like whatever.
Yeah.
And these people live and die by their lies, which is crazy. Like that bitch who fucking that got Emmett Till strung up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't she do some interview saying she doesn't regret making up the story? I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? Man,
that sounded like something she was saying.
Yeah. Well, the one that said something about the that pointed out the guy that was 45 years. She's done interviews recently. We still live with the stress and the pain of what we went through. Still, what? This dude was in 45 years in a box. Yeah, like his life is over. Yeah,
for nothing, like some bullshit because you couldn't like just tell him your fucking cousin diddled you or whatever. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. It's sad, man. Like people are fucking evil or terrible. Like that's why, man. Stay away from the trouble.
And it used to be, and just imagine it used to be 10,000 times worse. Imagine that. Yeah. You get pulled over, and they can put anything on you. It's a wrap.
You know what the privilege is of being, like, having money? So even with black people with money that live in the suburbs, we could drive. If we're driving around in a nice car, they're not checking for us. Well, you live in the suburbs now and shit.
They might. Yeah. They might check for you hard.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
where you get that car, boy?
No, ever since I remember my first really nice car was a Mercedes, right? Ever since then, I've been pulled over. I got pulled over once in a Mercedes when I was driving back from Ohio after my wedding, and I was speeding. I was going like 85 and whatever, and I had the car full of stuff, and I was like, yeah, I just got married. Like my wife's wedding dress was hanging on the thing, and you could see it had a clear plastic bag. So the cop was like, "Oh my God, you just got married. That's cool. Sorry, I'll let you go." Right?
I got pulled over so many times in Virginia. Virginia is crazy.
Like, you driving in that Volt? You still got that Volkswagen shit?
No, I'm just saying in general, Virginia. I don't fuck around in Virginia in general.
Like, don't do that.
Over. I've been pulled over so many times.
Have you gotten pulled over in recent times though?
Well, I don't drive really like that. I'll Uber if I'm going out for the night. So I'll drive to pick my son up from school and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I used to.
When was the last time you pulled over?
I can't remember. I mean, probably when I was in my late 20s, early 30s is probably the last time, because I don't really drive like that. If I'm going out for the night, I Uber. I don't really drive around at night or anything like that. But I used to get pulled over a lot, like a lot. At high school, I used to get pulled over a lot because back, I had cornrows and shit back then, so they pulled me over all the time in high school. But I definitely experienced that shit. Getting out the car, fucking with you, all that type of shit, But now, I'm more clean cut and all that. But when I was in, I looked a little bit different way back when. So, I was definitely a target.
Last time I got pulled over was 12 years ago.
12.
What about you? Yesterday, right?
Chill.
They pulled me up. This is why I was late to the podcast. They pulled me up.
First off, like, to be as young as I am, I'm a homebody. Like, it's got to be a major national occurrence for me to get out the house outside of work. And then 9 times out of 10, if you invite me somewhere, you're also taking me. And man, we want you to come to the Nats game. Oh, who driving? I'm not the fuck. I'm not doing that.
But no, I mean,
Yeah.
you live near the city, right?
Yeah, I live in the city, so
Yeah,
it's Metro,
just
it's
take a
Uber.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not parking. I'm dealing with the parking fees is worse than
Yeah,
anything a
that's
cop could pull me over for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only
so
drove
fuck it.
into the city like when I was maybe with a group of people and I knew it was more practical. Like if I had people over the house or something, and we just drove in to see a basketball game or something.
The way you have to strategize where you're going, if you're going to an event in the city, okay, what ward is it in? What's the parking situation? Do they have garages? Is it zone parking? Is it going to be monitored by, meter maids and the police? By the time you've done all that, man, hop on the Metro or pay the Uber and then be
I just do the Uber. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I ain't give a fuck. I was $50, $100.
Oh no. Yeah, I'll Uber all the way to the city. I mean, I'll go.
You should
takes
do that.
me
You
to
Ubered
get
out
to DC.
MGM, remember? You went from Maryland to MGM that one time.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, I live like 5 minutes from the MGM, so that's perfect. I could just drive right.
Oh, you live 5 minutes from DC?
Like literally 5 to 6 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, from the casino? Oh, from Maryland, MGM? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hop, skip, and the jump.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice, and you pay for it too.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Get me
I was
fuck out of here.
the apartment store there nice, so I'll be. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. So, but yeah, we're getting strung up nowadays, man. You gotta have means to not get strung up. And I mean, there's some of these like you think about kids that's living in the hood and shit like that. They don't police that shit. I mean, unless you're shooting at people. But
well, I told you the story, Hugh, from the story. Well, when I was in Georgetown with the shorty way back when, and I'm at the ATM machine getting cash out for the cash.
Like, I don't even know.
No,
Dog, I don't know what you said or did. You probably
ain't nothing said.
Fool.
Ain't nothing said nothing. Ain't nothing said nothing. Literally, I'm in Georgetown. So Georgetown on M Street. I'm with a girl. We're about to go up. There was like a Hilton up Wisconsin Avenue. So we going up Wisconsin, and so there's an ATM because back then this is taxi days and shit. So I said, "Oh, I stop at the ATM? Let me get some cash." She stays in the car, perfectly fine, right? He can see me. ATM's right here. He flags down a police officer while I'm at the ATM. A police officer comes over. What's going on? You don't have cash for the taxi, blah blah. I'm like, bro, I'm at the ATM machine, like getting cash. He's like, it's illegal not to. It's illegal to get in the car and not have cash on you. And I'm like, so this is kind of early on when I'm in DC. And at the time I had bought a condo in Southeast and Congress Heights. And I'm like, off of Alabama, I'm like, y'all don't police like this in Congress Heights. And he's like, oh, this ain't Congress Heights. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, put your hands behind your back, like straight up, put me in handcuffs. The people behind me were like, he's at the ATM machine. and the thing about it was back then, because we was at a bunch of bars, I had to do they had on the ATM back then, you could approve your transaction. So that's why it was taking like a few seconds where I had to prove, okay, yep, that was me. And then I could get the cash out. So once dudes put me in handcuffs, another cop is coming up too. And the cash starts coming out of the machine. I look over, Shorty's dipped out in the cab because she just met me that night. We was just gonna go, hook up. So she's out, like, hey, I don't know what's going on. There's multiple cops going over, like, blah blah blah. But the whole fact of the matter is, I left someone in a car, a female, right? I'm at the ATM, and he literally flagged down a police officer. So
because you're black, bro.
I mean, I was just like, wow, I'm at the ATM and I got a female in the car. Like, this is the least threatening. Like, what do you think is going on right now?
Yeah, bro. Like,
everything you said is threatening because you're colored.
Yeah.
Everything.
So they was about to
breathing
literally lock me up for that. They was about to literally lock me up. And,
I've never had a bad experience with a cop, like, I look like a jolly, like, big black dude, so they don't really fuck with me like that. But I was remember Russia House? You guys remember Russia House? That's before your time.
Yeah.
Man. Like, it's off of, where was that off of? He's like, nah.
That was
the Hilton off of Connecticut.
It was off of Connecticut.
The Hilton on Connecticut. You know where that is, where you go when it heads over to what's up there? Not Adams. Is it Adams Morgan?
Yeah, Adams Morgan.
Towards Adams Morgan.
So it's basically DuPont. In between DuPont, like the end of DuPont going into Adams Morgan.
There's a place called Russia House over there. We knew these bartenders and shit. So we used to always get like free drinks and shit. So, but this is, again, back in the day we used to drive. This is maybe 2010, 2011. I was piss drunk. Like, and I'm driving and they were holding up traffic everywhere. And I'm like, fucked up. And I'm driving, and then the cop just stops me. He's like, checkpoint. I'm like, oh, yo, I'm just going home. He's like, there's a car beside him, and he's about to do the breathalyzer. He's like, you know what, just go. And I'm like, oh god, thank God. It was a black cop too, thank God. And I just went home, and then
I ain't feel like the paperwork.
This is another night. I was drunk, made it. This is when I stopped driving into the city. This is before the advent of Uber and all that. This is when Shaun, I used to just start crashing at Ali's house rather than going, like driving all the way back to Maryland. So I used to crash at my boy's house. He lived in Arlington. So he'd drive, or I just park there and figure out something.
Oh, sweet.
So long story short, the one time I drove home, I'm right at the turning the corner to get home. I doze off as I'm turning at 2-3 in the morning to go to my thing. I hit the curb, fuck up the whole side of my car and everything. Drunk as fuck, popped 2 tires, fender falling off. I'm like, damn, yo. And I was right here. I was home. I had to put it in, man. That was the only insurance case I ever had on my car at that time. But like, I drunk driving, all that shit. But we used to have to go through before Uber. Y'all some privileged ass motherfucking young
man. No.
Oh yeah.
It's beyond privilege now. You go around Adams Morgan. You got to make sure you don't get ran over by somebody zipping on the e-bike or e-scooter. That's all it is over there now.
Oh, God forbid you get hit by an e-scooter. Back in the day, it was cops get hit by cars, drunk motherfuckers throwing bottles and shit. Like, yo, dog, we used to have, we had stories, man, back in the day, man. And like going to the clubs with all the fucking there's always like these old dudes. When we used to go to, what was that, Grand Central? Remember like the old dudes used to try to press
Grand
up
Central.
on the young, there'd be like these 50-year-old dudes on the dance floor just waiting for these young girls to get drunk and just to grab on them and shit. Now they don't do that anymore. I don't think so. I haven't been out to a club in a minute, but there used to be some creepers back.
Ain't nothing in the clubs.
Yeah, ain't nothing. It's not even worth it going out.
Just drugs.
Like, dog, you met like
That's all it's
bro, Shaun, we had a good era of partying, like early 2010s. Maybe the 2010s, and it started going downhill with all the like online dating shit, and then like the advent of social media. Because now nobody wants to like party and like sweat their hair out or get dirty. Though we used to go.
It's the advent of the day parties now. That's the closest
day parties.
thing.
Yeah, because you could look pretty and shit, and then go home and go back to sleep.
And it's all clicked up. Like day parties is just your little social media group in real life. That's all it is.
That's so whack, yo. You don't meet people that way. That's why these people. So how is it hanging out and being black now? Like I can't even. I see these motherfuckers on social media. I don't even like them. I'm like, this is the shit that the fucking like. I don't want to say it like because it'll sound like I'm being racist against a certain sexuality. But you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm on spit it out.
Blank people used to do. I can't say it because. But
hold that Bernie Sanders doll up. You're an ally.
Bernie. Rights for all trans.
Exactly. You can't be ISIS.
We're gonna tax the rich until they're poor. Free health care for everybody.
Socialism.
Socialism.
I'm shocked Bernie's still going. So, man, like looking at
he's like 89 years
Biden
old.
versus Bernie, man, we really should have had Bernie. Bernie really should have been up in there because you see what happened to Biden just going downhill. It's like, damn.
Yeah, Bernie would handle it way better.
Weak, yo. Like he's too friendly because he's been a lifetime politician. He's friends with all these fucking corrupt motherfuckers. So he doesn't want to throw them under the bus, even though he's against them. He ain't gonna say their names out loud. That's the problem with him. And then like you're seeing the same thing, like AOC starting to be like that. She's not really calling out people like she used to because it's a game, right? You got to stay clicked up, or else you're not gonna get the benefits.
Got to be clicked up, or they gonna click back on you.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't like Republicans. On the other hand, like Trump went against the norm, and look at him now. Now everybody, he is the norm. So
yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it is. And on that note, like speaking of people with the Trump Diddy Trump.
Diddy
Diddy trial.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy trial. Diddy.
Woo.
I kept saying all those pictures of old man Diddy. I thought those was Photoshop or AI.
Yo, he's great. Like
he's great as fuck.
I think that happened because of the stress of being.
Oh, absolutely.
Yo,
Oh,
dog,
for sure.
This dude got manicures and pedicures daily. Dog.
Yeah.
Dog,
Eating the best food,
eating
like
the best,
massages. Yeah, like
this nigga
He
can't even
went
get a
from-
peanut butter and jelly sandwich in that bitch.
Yeah, he went from looking like first term Obama to last term. That motherfucker went through a metamorphosis.
Dog.
that's that jail hair for real. Like that shit is.
Dog,
I mean,
yeah.
that's what it do to you. That's what it do to you,
He
man.
don't got no more Cambodian breast milk to moisturize.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking wild, bro.
Yeah,
I just want to know why Cambodian.
He used to drink Cambodian breast milk.
Yeah, when they seized the shit, he had gallons of Cambodian breast milk in the crib, and they just was like, "Are you fucking with it? Are you moisturizing? Are you drinking it? Are you getting it harvested fresh? Are you getting it bottled?" Like, I had so many questions, and everybody was like, "Bro, you're focusing on the wrong shit." I'm like, "No, I don't think I am. No, like, what the fuck is up with all this breast milk? Why do you have it? Like, you drinking it? He don't got that many goddamn kids.
Didn't he have a baby?
How many?
He had a young baby. I think that might be for the baby.
Shit, all gallons of it?
I mean, yeah, you store it and use it.
Nah, man. From what I heard, he had
milk lasts.
He had a warehouse worth of that shit.
He had a warehouse worth of Cambodian breast milk.
He had a warehouse worth of baby oil in Crisco.
That's not true. I mean, you could fry chicken in Crisco.
Yeah, you can do more than fried chicken in Crisco too.
You could do a lot with Crisco.
Yeah, greasing up his nuts in Crisco and doing weird shit.
I don't know if I could use that as a lube. Baby oil is a little weird too.
You know what you should use as lube? Fucking lube. Like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, there was some testimony where it said that at one session. Now, this baby oil goes a long way. I remember when I was a kid. You know, you get a little baby oil,
yeah, a little dab of you good. Yeah.
She said there was one session they used 10 bottles. I'm like, how you use 10 bottles without breaking your neck? Like, what you
filming, like a pinky special? What the fuck?
That's got to be on carpet. That's got to be on carpet. Ain't no way you're on a hardwood floor now with that much baby oil.
Of baby oil. At this point, they just made a little pool of it.
Yeah, they did that too. They brought a kiddie pool to a hotel and did a whole thing. But that would be more than 10 bottles, though.
Yeah, you would need more than 10.
Yeah.
It's just a weird number.
It's like, but
he was like, I don't want to see
10 bottles.
She was like, I don't want to see an ounce of dry skin, bitch.
Well, that's what he said. They had to be glitter, shimmering and glistening. And so here's the question, because the only reason you would remember there was 10 bottles used is if next day y'all was joking about it, right? Like, damn, we went through 10 bottles of
waking up in a Johnson & Johnson baby pool like, damn, 10 bottles last night? 10 bottles.
10 bottles.
My areola's still squeaky. I had the 10 bottles.
My areolas.
Damn. Yeah,
good for the skin, crazy. Probably moisturizes as well.
Shaun bottles combs, bro. That man at that Costco was all like, beep, beep.
Yeah, see.
Beep, beep, beep. Costco came out with that statement talking about
he was like, he did not. Yeah, he was like, yo, he did not buy him from here. Yeah. I wonder what brand he used. Was Johnson?
I would Johnson.
Johnson. Yeah.
I'd go with the best.
Yeah. And then Astro Slide is a lube. Astro Slide. So there's a lot of Astro Slide that was being used.
Uber lube is better.
Uber lube.
That's the silicone based one. It's non-toxic. It passes through your system.
All right, man. When they raid that house after them shortages on Tesla stock, we know what they gonna be finding in your crib.
Uber lube.
Uber lube, Johnson baby oil, and
Crisco.
Bunch of baseball cards lined up in Johnson baby. Swiping them down strippers' butt cheeks. Hey, come here, girl. Let me slide this Mark McGuire down your little ass cheeks. Home run, baby.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, man. And even okay, so I mean, there's not much going, but Cassie, this is one thing. The civil suit with Cassie. So, Shaun, you're the legal eagle here because you watch the court channel. I thought that she cannot testify against him after that settlement. He gave her $52 million to shut the fuck up. So why is she testifying? And doesn't this kind of incriminate, since they did this together? Shouldn't she be like, this is a criminal trial for him? Why isn't she being persecuted the same way.
He asking the real questions.
Well, no, the interesting thing about it is, I
She
think
took a plea deal? Do you think she took a plea deal?
Well, with the federal stuff, I'm sure they're giving her some type of deal to
Immunity?
testify. Yeah, but with the charges though, right? Then that kind of can pierce the NDA. It's almost like the client privilege for when you go to the psychiatrist or whatever, right? That can be pierced if there's like you're going to hurt yourself. There's criminal act of some sort. You're going to hurt a child. Like that can be pierced. So with the NDA here, there's probably something similar to that effect. But the interesting thing about this, because it's a very salacious trial. There's a lot of information going back and forth with the sex stuff, but at this point in time, I know it's early. It just seems like it was a freaky ass couple. They was doing some freaky ass shit, and they was paying for people to come prostitutes. At this point in time, the obvious, and it seems like he was a domestic abuser. There's no doubt about that. But it doesn't seem like it's a racketeering RICO, like all this other. They dated each other for 7 years.
They did that same thing to R. Kelly.
Or 11 years,
they
actually.
They did some RICO shit to R. Kelly, like he was sex trafficking and all this shit. I was like, look, yeah, they were underage or whatever you're talking about, but he wasn't trafficking. He wasn't prostituting them out and shit. He had a bunch of chicks locked up in his house, and their parents let him go there. Why don't you prosecute the parents, too? I would have let my kids near R. Kelly. Knowing that he pissed on a child on a videotape, you going to let your daughter go up in that house?
Yeah, that's child endangerment at that point.
Yeah, they should go to jail too.
Right.
See, this is what's fucked up. And then they put mind you, look, they're both evil people. They did what they did. They're bad people. But this is no different than what Hugh Hefner does at the Playboy Mansion.
I literally was about to say, this sounds like the Playboy Mansion to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was locking
exactly.
whether they're of age or not. And they had underage girls up in that bitch too. Don't get it twisted. You know that. But they don't talk. And what were we talking about the other day? Oh, yeah, yesterday on the podcast. And we were talking about like how mistresses and shit like that and women who do all these things, they never really talk, like groupie girls, right? They go sleep with a rapper or a rock star. They never talk. Now these girls, they the first thing that they do, they try to put a hole in the condom to get pregnant. They're taping you secretly. They're making up shit like they did with Shannon Sharp. Like all this crazy shit just to get $1 and clout. And you think about back in the day, like these girls that used to sleep with the whole band. They go home. They're 55 years old now. They're telling they on YouTube telling the story to to somebody like, yeah, the whole Rolling Stones ran through me. What a great time in my life. You know what I mean? Like these old ladies love that shit. They talk about like what they did when they was groupieing and shit. Now it's like these girls just chase out the clout. They're in it. They're in it for that shit. Yeah, they'll let them have sex with them and videotape it and let the team run train, whatever they do. But then all of a sudden, there's a lawsuit.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's where we're getting. Yeah. No, and I think that's the thing. I think we're getting to a point where we're almost like the lines are getting very blurred because you can have an 11-year relationship, and obviously we understand, right? There's people that start loving their captor and all that kind of stuff. There's rare instances of that, but at some point in time, you got to have a little common sense, right? Where you just got to, for your own self, like people have to have their own self-consciousness of themselves. They say to themselves, I don't want to get peed on anymore. I'm stopping it here, right? It's, just straight up and down. Like where does
some people just want to do that for the rest of their life.
But where does the responsibility, and I don't want to victim shame. I'm not trying to abusiveness and people like can't get out of that in their own head and all that. It's like a drug, right? You're addicted to crack or you can't get over it. But you can still go to prison for being a drug abuser. You can still go to prison, right? For that plight. They don't call it a mental thing, and even though it most likely probably is, it's got you captured. You can't control yourself, right? You're doing crimes. But there's no real, when it comes to sex stuff, it seems like there always has to be some like bastardation of it where someone was getting abused and forced into that because it was such a sexual egregious type act that they were doing, because the people prosecuting them probably never had anal sex or they probably never did X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah,
so there's a disconnect.
Like
you're
but
deviant.
Also, remember we were talking with Charleston. Remember Charleston White? Now I'm not like Charleston White's funny to me, but remember what he said when he saw that Cassie and Diddy beating video, right? He's like, if she was running for her life, why'd she go back in the room to go get her Louis Vuitton bag and all that shit? Like she ran out with a bunch of bags and shit. Like if I was running for my life, I would
Fuck
not be
all
grabbing
that,
the
right.
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be running out the door, but she had to go get her jewelry, her purse, all that shit, whatever. Like, and you gotta think.
Yeah, if I'm really fucked up like that, if somebody really fucked me up mentally like that, like,
And you was trying to get away?
and it's really me, like that's really me, and I'm so fucked up mentally, no amount of money is gonna be what I'm looking for. If you fucked up like that, all the stuff you going through, somebody beating on you, somebody doing this and that, you want that motherfucker to pay. You want them to that's your first reaction, right? It's not writing a book and then saying, hey, this is what's in the book. Let's negotiate. Because she's talked about it in court. It was she got $20 million settlement. She sued for 30, and it was all because she said she wrote a book and she 50. Went to. No, she testified today. It was 20. She sued for 30, and she got 20 million. But it was all predicated on a book that she wrote and presented to someone close in Diddy's camp. And Diddy's camp responded saying, no one's going to pay attention to this. And then that's where she got so enraged that then she brought a lawsuit, right? So I feel like there's a lot of things that like a domino effect with this shit. And that it's not necessarily on feelings all the time. But it got trumped up to this whole thing. In my opinion, I just feel it's just kind of like he was a domestic abuser. There's no doubt about that. But they had some freaky ass sex for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, you're really gonna put him in prison for the rest of his life off of that shit? As far as what I know so far, and she's the only victim so far. There's one other victim that's a Jane Doe, but where are all the other women? Right? Cosby, they had 50, 60. Right? That all these people they
Weinstein, they had
100. Come out of the woodwork. Where are all the
a
victims?
lot of these stories are super far fetched too. Like they're just coming out with like random. Like just things like he tried to get, and even like the stuff. So you heard what's that girl Nicole Heaton that Australian singer? She got a fat ass and like you know who I'm talking about, right? Her manager used to be Kanye's personal assistant, and they both coming out with stories about Kanye and Diddy doing shit, and this one and that one and all these. So it's like,
well, if you give Kanye some time, he's gonna tell on himself. So
Kanye, Kanye is a whole other animal. I don't know what he does, but I would honestly say Kanye, if he's doing like this, I don't think he was as wild as Diddy, but I'm pretty sure that he put a lot of women in compromising positions. What before Kim, after Kim, whatever. And then obviously his wife. Like I don't even know like what like his wife. Would you cheat? I mean his wife is bad, but like I heard that they be popping off though. They be like bringing girls up 3 or 4-somes and shit, all types of
Man, you can tell by the way she dressed. She into some weird shit.
Maybe
they might be calling the cousin up.
They be like, they say he forcing her into that lifestyle, like walking.
And that's the other thing. What is the line of forcing? Right? I'm gonna ruin your career. Well, fuck my career. Right? I my dignity, my sanity. Like I feel like there's certain things that people give so much high value. Well, he was going to ruin my money. I felt like I couldn't do anything, and so that becomes like a financial thing. But really, are you placing getting peed on? Like nobody could come to me and be like, okay, I'm gonna give you an apartment, I'm gonna give you a whatever, and I'm gonna just pee in your mouth. That wouldn't be a scenario where I'm like, oh, cool, right? Like there's certain things, and people get desperate.
He peed on her?
Multiple, yeah. There were her, and so that they had
really?
they had a sex worker.
I thought you were just obsessed with talking about peeing. Right?
Oh no, they had a sex worker where they would pee on her together in her mouth and all that, and then she said she testified to this. So she was choking. It was too much at the first time, that it happened because the guy who was doing it, he testified. He said he'd never done that before, so he just went to town, right? And she's like, no, you gotta go slower. Yeah, well, you
gotta control the stream.
Yeah, that's what she said. That's the testimony. She said you gotta go slower, you gotta control. So she's coaching him on how to do it, right? And then he would have sex with her and ejaculate whatever, and then rub it on Diddy's nipples in another room.
She rubbed it, right?
She rubbed it on Diddy. Yeah. So
disgusting.
So the thing about it is,
what the fuck?
Somebody in that situation, right? Diddy is doing obviously the most. He's been rich for 30 years. Where are the other victims? You would think he would have a pattern of just abusing and
especially with that much money, you would be switching partners every night.
Yes, every night.
You heard about the whole like progression, and they said especially with hip hop artists, like it goes from like, yeah, you getting all these girls. Next thing you know, you're into like weird shit, like, oh, I want to only fuck with short girls and fat girls, and the next thing you know, you're like, you know, it could go either to children or some freaky shit where you're fucking dudes and other women, like women, multiple women, and whatever Diddy's doing now.
Oh no, they get to the point, and that's the thing.
Because you over, especially if you're over sexualized. Like I can't.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a plain Jane when it comes. Not to say, you know, like I can get a little freak, but sometimes I just take a step back. Like I don't want to put it in your butt. You know what I mean? Like,
but
you know,
yeah,
like you know, you don't want it. You think about these things. Oh, what if I get a little doo doo on my dick? I don't want that.
But how?
Doo on my dick.
But how? But Diddy.
Oh
but Diddy
Now think about that shit. Like it does. That I always have a second thought. Like when it gets to a point, like you know, where like, oh, well, let's try something different. You know what I mean?
But that's
maybe
what I'm
I'm
saying.
a prude. I don't know. I'm a little bit of a prude
more...
in that, so maybe very traditional. But I don't want to get a little. You know what I'm saying? I always think the worst.
You don't
case
want a little
scenario,
cum. You don't want a little cum on your nipple.
Nah, pause, bro. Pause. No.
Well, you talk. I mean, shit.
Sean talking like a man food experience.
Well, this is my first and last episode.
Due to all the dick, I don't know. That seemed like someone's experience. I never had to.
No, but that can happen if you put it in the. You know, you put it.
I don't know.
You know,
I would hope y'all would prep before.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
I'm just saying, like I
going
see
for the gusto off the rip. Nah,
man,
you gotta have some conversations.
Again,
when's
I've
the last
never
time XYZ?
I've never put myself in those compromising douche with a douche. It's
doodle on the dick is insane.
But that happens, yo. They say I've seen that. You seen them 2 girls 1 cup shit, right? Like that shit that was on the internet.
Man, that's a whole different spectrum, though.
Exactly, that's
voluntarily shitting.
That's kind of gross.
But here's what Here's what Diddy's probably. He's probably a megalomaniac, sex addict, super controlling, right? Almost like a. You know what? He's. And I don't want to make any prejudgments. We know he's almost like a new age Ike Turner in a sense, right? Ike Turner, abusive as fuck, right? Abusive as fuck, controlling, right? All that shit, right? There would never been a RICO situation, sex trafficking situation. He was a womanizer. He's a wife beater, and he was probably a freaky ass motherfucker. But he probably, with Tina, is probably so. But the kind of the buck stops there, and it doesn't mean that it absolves him from being a horrible person. Right, but again, RICO, racketeering, sex trafficking is just, I don't know. The shit's just, so far, it just seems like some freaky sex shit. And that's what we've already known about Diddy, and that's what everybody's already known about Diddy. So how this will play out will be interesting.
Are they now disinterested in the fact that there were other quote-unquote celebrities involved and all this other?
That's another thing.
That's been kind of quiet now that the trial has started.
Yeah. There was all these rumors. Yeah, all these rumors. Him and all these celebrities.
Jay-Z,
we're going to find out who's...
All this.
Drewski
was just recently outed out.
It's going to come back around at some point. So, I mean, there's people talking about, like, still trying to figure out... But the Epstein shit, like, what happened to the Epstein files and all this other junk? Yeah. You know what I mean? Now,
Epstein got too many friends on those files.
Yeah. This is the thing. With Diddy, he's friends... Yo, dog, Oprah, all these people... Mind you, if there's they don't have to be involved in this shit. You know, he's been in rooms with Obama, with President Biden, with Trump, everybody. So the guilty by association, this is the same thing with Epstein. Like, everybody's guilty by association because they partied with him in the 80s and 90s. And then you think about same thing with Diddy. All these celebs and all these politicians were around him in the 90s and 2000s. And even up to when, like, last year, even, like, he was out there with Biden and all them doing shit. So you gotta think that guilty by association shit. Nobody wants to deal with that because that whole Epstein shit. I think that there's a coordinated effort by the media not to highlight that anymore. And if there's no real proof or burden of proof behind it, it's a moot point because he can have these videos and there might Mary J. Blige and Nas and fucking everybody could be sloshing around in some baby oil and shit. That's their prerogative, right? That's their lives, but they don't want that shit out there. And then if the FBI, it just opens up the door for more shit. And then the minute people can start digging up pictures of every politician, everybody and their mother, like, I might have a picture with Diddy somewhere that might fuck me up. You know what I mean? Like everybody's gonna just be guilty about it. You ever been to his? You know what they're saying? You've been to his house. You had a freak off. Like everybody's just talking about it, right? At one point, your mic is muted, Shaun. You and Carl
apparently they offered him a 5-year plea deal, and he turned it down.
Well, he about
because he's like he's been locked up since like he's been locked up for about a year.
Last March, yeah.
Yeah. So the whole play is now, right? Because the lower charges carry a maximum of 10 years. So I was watching something about this earlier. Mm-hmm. The lower charges carry a maximum of 10 years, but there's no minimum. The RICO charge is the big charge that carries 20 to life. So when they offered him a plea, right, his team probably figured they don't got shit, and we can probably get this down to some bullshit, right? Sex trafficking, you serve, 2, 1,
served,
18 months, yeah.
Time served, yeah.
But the thing is, for the government, fuck it, we'll go to trial, even if it's a weak case, because you know why? We're just going to embarrass the shit out of you, and we're going to basically ruin your life. So it serves a purpose either way, because he's not going to have any standing in Hollywood. He's going to be a pariah. I mean, they basically essentially ruined any opportunity he has to endorse any product, right?
Tarnish his rep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you know what, man? He can still make money off of social media.
Look at Kanye. Yeah, look at Kanye. Look at Charleston White. Yeah, I mean, shit. Like, there's a medium for that.
Trump.
Trump. So Diddy would have, but Diddy, with somebody like Diddy with that persona and his ego, he would have to really change a lot. It's like an NBA player that's always been a starter coming off the bench for the first time. You got to play that role.
A lot of them. Yeah, that wrongs a lot of them. They can't make that adjustment.
Yeah, MJ wasn't MJ no more when he just gave up after that.
Okay. MJ on one knee, 82 games at 40. LeBron gets slapped on the back of his head. He goes down, rolling around on the ground. Come on now.
He still dropped like 28, 8, and 10 on him.
Okay. Everybody drops 28 in today's NBA. That's normal.
No, not everybody drops 28 in today's
NBA. Your requirement is you shoot 9 threes a game. That's
a requirement. You jack up some
not
threes.
Everybody. I don't, dog. You see these.
What happened? I love that the Knicks gonna go ahead and lock this up, because what happened to just regular basketball, right? Just passing the ball, making cuts.
Yeah, because Jason Tatum, before his injury, he forgot he was 6'4", 2 something. Like he was like, I'm just going to shoot threes. The times he was driving
Jason
it, he
Tatum
was successful.
Is like 6'8". He's tall.
Yeah, he's like 6'8".
Yeah, but I'm just saying he forgot that. I can drive the ball. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the game, and they scoring. They putting up numbers, so that's all that matters.
They put up
Steph
that
Curry
ass
and Klay Thompson.
And without Steph, look what happened at Golden State.
Yeah,
I mean they got one more game tonight, right?
Well,
last time we talked about Kari, it was just me and Kari. It was weird because we were talking about the Lakers in 6 because they dropped the game 2, and then we were like, yeah, Golden State's gonna be the toughest thing, and now they're fucking pretty much gone. We didn't even talk about that. So we was like, yeah, okay, is it gonna be OKC versus who in the
Boston?
Now it's like the Knicks, Cavaliers are done too, which I was surprised.
Yeah, Cavaliers, yeah. Indiana, man.
My God. Indiana.
Hallie balling.
Man, they pulling out the spirit of Reggie Miller. They probably saw those clips that went viral of Reggie Miller, like, crying and shit about not making it to the, winning the finals or going to the finals or whatever. But it's crazy. So Indiana, the Knicks look like they're going to move forward. OKC is fine. But Timberwolves and who's the other team?
Denver.
Nuggets are done. Right?
Well, we'll see. I mean, there was a close game last night. Jokic had a huge game, but Jokic is just running out of steam. It's going to be hard for him to carry this team. OKC's got too much firepower. They got too many players, too deep.
OKC is going to do it. I'm kind of I'm not interested in these playoffs, but I like the way they're turning out. Let's put it that way.
They've been something to watch to the end for sure.
Yeah.
You cannot turn them games off early.
The game. Yeah. What's the score right now, actually, for the
I haven't even checked.
Yeah.
I'm checking ESPN
67-70, third quarter. Knicks are down 3.
So they're gonna win. They're
just gotta
now.
Yeah, just gotta hang in there, and then
I mean, even if they drop this game, I hope
they
still
got it
tonight. But if they drop, they're gonna go back home, and it's over. New York fans are just crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So they're gonna.
Man, New York gonna be on fire tonight, boy.
If they win tonight, yeah.
To be a
Just for them
public
beating
transport
Boston.
MTA worker,
They'll
yo,
be talking about
man.
this for the next 20 years. So they hate the Celtics. So yeah, I know my New York people. I know this means more to them than going to the finals. And if they made it to the finals or beat I think they'll have an easy time against Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals because the matchup is good. It's a really good matchup, those two teams.
I wouldn't say easy, but
I think it'll run through Indiana because Indiana's just outplaying. I don't even know the name. Who
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland is showing their lack of experience because once they dropped a couple of games, I think they're a little shook. You know what I mean? And they don't have the heart. But next year,
the crazy thing is we about to have 2 60-win teams not make it. Neither one of them make it to the conference finals in the Eastern Conference, which is kind of crazy.
Who cares? Like that's the way the thing goes, man. Look, LeBron beat the best team ever by himself, pretty much. The best team ever. I think he's the only player.
Hold on. Best team ever from what? What are you talking about? 70? You talking about the Bulls?
No. The Golden State.
You're talking about Golden State.
Golden State
73.
that didn't win the championship. Oh yeah. That
LeBron beat.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh, best
LeBron
regular
and
season
Kyrie
team. Best regular season team. You was gonna say.
Okay.
Or was you talking?
What
you talking about the
they
Bulls?
They won the championship. They probably be the greatest team ever, right?
Hold on, probably. What are you talking about?
They're not the greatest team ever.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say Bulls.
They won
Bulls,
4 chips.
Bulls
Bulls
won.
Bulls,
Yeah. Bulls won
Bulls
that
won
championship.
Bulls 6.
Bulls
Six.
finished it. Kyrie, he has 4.
Yeah, but they didn't beat anybody good. That's the problem.
What?
Did you just not watch? See, it's different
did
when
you
you're
just
the
not
best
watch
team.
Basketball?
When you're the best team and you beat mediocre teams. That's like
who did
LeBron?
Okay, so who did LeBron beat in the
Golden State?
Who did LeBron
OKC?
beat? No, who did LeBron beat in the Eastern Conference to get
Spurs?
to that? Who did LeBron beat in the Eastern Conference to get to that win against the Golden State Warriors? Who would they play in the Eastern Conference championship that year?
The Toronto.
Do you even know?
Was it Toronto? I don't know.
I probably would.
I don't know. Toronto's always. I don't even fucking care. They lost. Who cares about the loser?
Listen. I mean, we're talking about Jordan played against Hall of Famers. Who are the Hall of Famers that in the Eastern Conference?
He played against HIV Magic. He beat up on an old fucking Joe Dumars and what's his name?
What are you talking about,
Isaiah, yeah, old. They was like late 30s when they was getting beat.
All right, so the Knicks was not good. So
most
the Knicks
of the niggas that Jordan beat were playing in the 70s, yo.
So Knicks weren't good. Knicks weren't good.
The Knicks weren't good?
Yeah, I'm asking you. The Knicks were not
good.
Those
94 with Patrick Ewing and John Starks and Anthony
So they
Mason?
were bad. Those were bad
they were
teams.
good. They were good teams.
You just proved this point.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're proving this point.
Dog, those teams were not even stacked
so
like
Indiana with Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller. Hold on, Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller.
No, you said
top 5
Mark Jackson and Reggie Miller.
Yes,
versus
Mark Jackson.
Okay, so Mark Jackson and Reggie Miller versus like Klay Thompson, KD, or KD. Let's just say KD, Russell Westbrook, and Serge Ibaka and James Harden.
Okay,
that's the team that LeBron beat in the finals.
If you ask that
they
question,
would not even dog. They would blow out the Knicks every night by 72 points.
Okay, if those players you mentioned play if those players play 82 and then in the playoffs they play each other, I'm taking the other side. I'm sorry, let them play 82 and then go talk that. If they're coming in playing 60. Then you're probably right because they play 60 games.
He's sitting there. These motherfuckers used to defend a layup by clotheslining somebody.
I'm sorry.
That's how they used to do shit. Because
these guys used to play. These guys used to play all 82. These guys used to play all 82 and then play
the toughest guard that Jordan ever had.
That's different.
Mark Price. Mark Price used to guard this man. Mark Price was like 6'2" and white.
Hold on.
Craig Elo. I'll pull up pictures of these motherfuckers. They don't even look like they should be basketball.
So Clyde Drexler wasn't good?
With the ball spot right here? Yeah, he's great.
Portland wasn't good?
He came in the league in 1979.
So what?
He's old.
See, he
played
old.
In Portland.
Okay.
He had Duckworth. Okay. Kevin Duckworth was on his team, yo.
So who did Jordan have?
Was it Mitch Richmond? I don't even remember the motherfucker. It was, who did Jordan have?
Yeah. Name him. Because you're saying Craig Elo, so put Craig Elo versus
You didn't grow up in this era, so you don't.
I'm about to say, bro, I was like 2. Calm down.
Craig Elo versus
Scottie Pippen.
Okay, who else?
One of the best.
B.J. Armstrong. These guys were nice in that era.
You bring up B.J. Armstrong. Okay, bring up Craig Elo's stats. Let's bring up Craig Elo right now.
Craig Hodges. That guy was a bucket from 3.
No. B.J. Armstrong right now. Let's bring up Craig Elo and Mark Price, who you brought up. Let's bring up their stats because that's who you brought up as bullshit.
Position people.
That's who you brought up.
Are you going to look at points or total box score? No.
Well,
B.J. Armstrong played his role. Right, these guys they had a good complete team.
So Luke Longley was an all-time. Luke Longley.
Nobody's saying all-time, motherfucker. I'm talking about.
Okay, but Patrick Ewing was an all-time.
I'm talking about complete teams. Patrick Ewing didn't have a good shooting guard.
Patrick Ewing didn't have a good shooting guard.
Who's their ball handler?
John Starks.
John Starks was a good point guard.
I mean, he was better than B.J. Armstrong.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! See, this is you know nothing about. All you know is a highlight reel with Jordan.
Oh, wow.
No,
okay.
No.
So you're gonna say John Starks?
You're out of your damn mind.
You're gonna say B.J. Armstrong?
Wait, who's
above
the
John
Derek
Starks?
Harper? Derek Harper, the second run. Derek Harper.
You said better than B.J. Armstrong. I just want to make sure we're clear right now. I just want to make sure we're clear right now.
We get into these, Kari. We get into these stupid arguments about this bullshit because he swears Jordan did no wrong ever. Did no wrong. Jordan could be on them Diddy tapes.
John Starks.
Like, yeah, well.
Okay, let's go BJ. Okay, 93-94, John Starks averaged 19 a game. 92-93, he averaged 18 a game. So let me go to BJ Armstrong because I don't think he ever cracked 10 double digits ever. So what do you mean? Okay, he's like double the.
Did I say he was better?
Yes, you did. You said BJ Armstrong is better than John Starks.
I'm saying as far as his role on those. Okay, let me.
What?
I have to look. BJ Arm. Can we? Is there a way to compare Armstrong?
Okay, here we go. I got you. 96-97, 7.9. 97-98, 3.9. 97-98, 4.2. 99, 2.2. 99, 4.7, 5.7. Are you kidding me right now? 9.9 and 91, 8.8 and 90. Come on, man. What are we talking about right now? What are we talking about right now?
Wait,
BJ Armstrong.
Basketball comparison. John Starks. Let's go, John Starks.
I can't believe you're saying John Starks.
I'm looking up
BJ
John
Armstrong.
Starks. I mean, you saying John Starks. I mean, from pure position player. Let me see Starks. I'm looking up. They have basketballcomparison.com. What a
It's
website.
so funny how these players used to play 82 back then. That to me is like.
Yeah, they was built different.
Yeah, it's definitely like LeBron. Let me see. When the last time LeBron played 82? Let me see.
What the fuck is this shit?
I think like 2017 or something. Last time LeBron played 82 games was... look at this. LeBron played 81 in 2008, guys.
Damn.
Wow. Oh, he played 82 in 2017-18. Okay. He's played 82 within 10 years. That's good. Okay. He played 55, 67, 45, 56, 55. What? They don't even play the whole season. What are you talking about? Of course, when you go to the playoffs, you're supposed to be fresh. You're supposed to be fresh to death.
All right. From a pure position standpoint, now if you look, never mind point totals and all that shit.
Well, what are you talking about? Never mind point totals.
No. Listen.
What are you talking about?
BJ Armstrong was a role player.
So was Starks.
No, Starks was the main. With that, they scored 80-something points a game. This guy scored a fourth of their points. He wasn't a role player. He was one of the main.
All right, so now you're putting him up there then.
No, I'm putting him in context, which you always miss.
Okay.
Jordan scored this and that. Okay, never mind, he missed 10 years of playoffs before he actually won anything. But it's okay.
But
have you
looked at Pippen's stats during those series, though?
Field goal percentage, 47%. 3-point, 4-point, 40% from the three. He was a 3-and-D guy.
He took less shots. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, and he only ran. You know
why
Jordan
he took less shots?
Seasons.
Because he played with MJ, the greatest player of all time.
Then how do you?
Greatest player of all time. How many Hall of Famers? How many Hall of Famers has LeBron played with?
Points per game. 14
how many Hall of Famers has he
19.
played with? Chris Bosh,
LeBron,
Dwayne Wade,
Ray Allen. Kyrie.
Jordan was on the same team with the same guys.
Kyrie,
Okay.
and then he's got
Luka right now.
Luka right now. He's got Luka.
Okay.
AD's gonna go to Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I mean, the list goes on. What do you mean? Okay, how many Hall of Famers
What does that have
is
to do
MJ?
with anything?
What Hall of Famers? Like it has everything to do with everything. Jordan played in the East when all those years he said he didn't make the playoffs. He was playing teams full of Hall of Famers, Celtics full of Hall of Famers, 3 or 4 in the starting lineup.
See, the difference is
Detroit,
LeBron's team,
3 or 4 in the lineup.
LeBron's teams
Knicks.
actually beat the Hall of fucking Famers. He beat Duncan. He
he
beat
played
Curry.
with Hall
He
of
beat
Famers.
Thompson. He beat Draymond. He beat
so did
Durant.
MJ.
He beat
So did
Russell
MJ.
Westbrook.
So did MJ.
He beat James Harden.
So did MJ. So did MJ.
He didn't beat none of those people. Who he beat? Sean Kemp?
No, what are you talking
Gary
about?
Payton? Gary Payton, nice.
Gary Payton. You don't remember when he came back the next year and they ran through Orlando with Shaq, who's probably.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the Orlando run.
Yeah, like come on.
They ran through Orlando. Didn't Orlando beat them the year before?
Yeah,
Yeah,
after he came from after he came back from playing
from
baseball,
retirement,
and he came back and they played him the next year.
Oh, he was ruining a baseball team, and he comes back and ruins their chances of winning a playoff game because he's fucking tired and shit. Look, dude, Jordan got lucky.
Oh.
The era of expansion, the era of people not knowing how to fucking pass the ball right. They were amazed. Like, you look at these highlight clips, they're like, Jordan went behind the back with the ball. They were like, oh my God, he's a fucking magician. He's a fucking sorcerer. Wizard.
Kobe, you can literally do a mirror image, and Kobe and Jordan is like the same shit. You can literally silhouette them, and it's the same shit. That's a new that's a new
And look at Kobe's production. The only reason, and God bless the dead, sorry, Kobe, I'm about to disrespect you here. The only reason Kobe was successful later on in his career because he was a volume shooter. That nigga never averaged over 45% shooting in the last 5 years of his career because he took 60 shots a game.
But he mirrored MJ back to the basket as MJ later in his career.
But
When MJ started giving people that shimmy, MJ started doing that shimmy. It was over.
There's
it was
a difference
over.
between Craig Elo guarding you and
God.
a guy like, I don't even know who used to guard Kobe, LeBron or whoever.
Okay.
Right?
Hugh,
a better.
I'm going to give you
the defenders are better.
Hugh.
You can't tell me that people who guarded MJ back then were any good at all.
Okay, Hugh, I'm going to give you one stat that will forever live in lexicon.
Took all those fucking losers.
I'm going to give you forever and ever. This will be the case. Forever and ever for professional sports. Forever and ever. This will be the case.
Cario here, like what the fuck?
The people.
I'm just enjoying it. Just enjoying it.
The people that play professional sports, specifically basketball, look at Craig Elo's history. I guarantee you he was all state, all whatever, and other sports. I guarantee you that. Look at their back.
So what? The niggas that didn't even make it to the second season, they were all state, all conference.
I'm talking about the athletes in basketball, the top athletes in the fucking world. They're top in everything. They have to pick and choose.
They are.
Basketball, track, football.
They are.
Baseball, whatever the fuck you want to play, you are the top echelon. You pick basketball. Like, you don't tell me these guys were not athletes. The game was they did not allow for you to play a certain way back then. It was the show. They could all dribble. Are you kidding me? Rucker existed for many, many years. Okay, if you would go to Rucker in the 70s, you would see motherfuckers get shook up like nobody's business. In the 60s, in the 50s, motherfuckers was getting shake and bake. It's now more in the league because the league has been dying. So the league is no viewership. The league has no viewership. It's still the highest.
What are you talking about?
The highest rated finals.
Dog, we talked about this
It's
already.
still the Bulls finals.
Nobody watches TVs anymore. They watch the shit on their motherfucking phone.
Okay.
Nigga, that the Nielsen does not track your motherfucking phone.
Well, you know what's so funny?
My nigga, you are fucking crazy. You're talking about niggas standing in front of a fucking TV having watch parties. I don't even want to go outside my house at night because I'm afraid of getting shot. You're talking about everybody gathering around a TV, having watch parties like it's 1988.
Hold on.
Because your neighbor got a big, Shaun, your neighbor got a big Zenith 27-inch TV. Let's go watch MJ play. No, it don't work that way. Everybody has an 80-inch screen on their wall. Everybody can watch the shit on the NBA app. They ain't tracking that shit.
I have a question.
You out your fucking mind comparing that shit.
I have a question. Out
your fucking mind.
Did you ever watch golf before Tiger Woods?
Hell no.
I don't watch golf. I never watch Tiger. I never watched golf. I paid attention to it because Tiger was there.
Dude that was like, he can't come into the fucking clubhouse. Is this not going to work? We need fried chicken in here. Tiger Woods came in day fucking 1, and guess what started happening? People started watching that motherfucker on TV. Millions.
My father is an avid golf watcher.
This is in 97.
And he will say straight up, he did not start watching golf. He did not pick up a club till Tiger starts winning.
Okay, I'm talking about how they consume the shit now. He's pointing out bullshit that doesn't even matter anymore.
Hold up, I'm just trying to hear him out.
If you are that guy, when Shohei Ohtani, in today's era, when motherfuckers watch on their phones, you're not going to sit here and tell me the fucking Q rating did not go up through the roof for
I started watching LA games. Yes. When Mookie and Ohtani started playing, I started watching
the numbers are not as high as they were
it's not about as
back
high.
in that
I'm talking about there's certain people that move the needle.
What is it?
You could put
LeBron has kept the league alive.
LeBron to me
since 2003.
is a great player. He's on my Mount Rushmore.
He's
on my
the
Mount
only
Rushmore.
person that's kept
never
this
been
league alive.
exciting to watch for me. He's never been exciting to watch for me. There's certain players to me
because you're living in the fucking past.
Allen Iverson. No, it's just certain players that have that it, and you see them, and you're like, that
like the youngins love Steph.
Yes,
you out your fucking mind. You don't watch LeBron.
You
don't watch LeBron play and not get excited. Like you don't. You know why? Because he
I don't watch whatchamacallit on the Clippers and get excited either, which I think he's a great player. Kawhi Leonard. I don't get excited watching him
because he's not exciting to watch.
But I look at LeBron very similarly.
Yo, it's a dunk contest. He's flipping the ball. He's dramatic. There's all types of shit.
Playing with D-Wade and Bosh. I thought that was.
You don't think that those numbers, the things that he's even doing today? Are you crazy? Are you not paying attention?
Certain players have.
Are you not paying? This nigga did a windmill 360 dunk the other day, and you're not paying attention.
When they came at the greatest players, and MJ stepped
Jordan
on that
sticks
stage,
out his tongue and does some random shit that everybody does nowadays. You're going, oh my God, he's the god.
The players that play say he's the god. The players that are his constituency say he's the god.
They don't because you asked. Carter, you follow this shit. When these young niggas talk about these YNs talk about who their greatest players, the white ones, the young YNs, white ones, and the black ones. What do they say?
Says he's the greatest
LeBron, right? They don't like MJ's cool, but I seen my cousin
okay, but
do
you gotta
that
understand, like we talking about 30 years removed, though.
Yes. I know he doesn't. He's still living 30 years ago when this shit mattered.
No,
if you look at these guys doing these shooting underhanded free throws.
Bro,
back
to
in
his
1950,
point, when I was my third birthday party was Space Jam themed in '96. I barely knew shit about basketball, but I knew to stick my tongue out when I shot a basketball.
Okay,
Jordan.
There's a
whole generation that says Kobe when they throw a piece of shit in the trash.
So and a generation had that with LeBron, but I feel like that LeBron era has the YNs that's wearing the ski mask and it's the Currys and all that shit now.
Yeah, but you know what they still wear? They still wear those J's. They still wear those J's. Ain't nobody wearing
LeBron like, he's run the league
Michael
for X
had
amount
it
of years.
Michael had it where you wanted to be like him. Nobody wants to be like LeBron. I'm just saying.
Nobody wants to
people
be like
wanted to be
LeBron?
like MJ. No, people, the swag.
Luka literally said he wanted to be like LeBron. Chet Holmgren, fucking,
he had to say
all these young motherfuckers want to be like LeBron. What are you talking about?
LeBron,
Jason Tatum, my favorite player was LeBron. All the superstars.
Where's the LeBron Barbie? Let me see the
J's. And
that
was his favorite player is KD.
Let me see the J's. Pull him up. Let me see the J's on his feet.
He's not
the
wearing
LeBron
J's,
Barbie.
He's wearing dunks. He's wearing dunks.
He wearing Terminators or some shit. I can't remember.
Yeah, wearing like Terminator dunks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day,
they're delusional. Jordan's first shoe wasn't even original. They modeled it after the Nike Dunk. It looks the same as a Nike fucking Dunk.
But you know what? People not wearing LeBrons for fashion.
Because nobody gets a fucking performance shoe. Nobody wears that shit. Maybe back in like the early 2010s
performance
or something.
Shoe. Last I checked, MJ played in.
Have you looked at a Michael Jordan sneaker recently? Have you looked at that? It looks like a fucking space shoe, nigga.
In his sneakers.
He's out of his fucking
MJ played in his sneakers.
They used to make them back then. A sneaker looked like a sneaker because they didn't have the design, know how to make it more aerodynamic and lightweight and all this shit. They had to put bulky shit on it because that's what they made sneakers out of.
Even more. He averaged 30 points a game playing in the cement shoes.
What?
You just saying how bad his sneakers were for performance.
all sneakers back then were bad for performance.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. He averaged 30 points a game with bad
Shooting
sneakers.
47% and taking the bulk of the team
No,
shot.
he shot 50.
And-
He shot 50%.
Okay.
His career, 50%.
Why did his
50%
stats
as a
go-
shooting
so-
guard?
Did he do that
50%
his
as a
whole
shooting
career?
guard.
Did he do that his whole
50%,
career?
yes. His career, 50%
His whole
shooter.
career? I
Yes,
recall
yeah.
him averaging 20 something, 19 or something like that his last year, scoring 2 points in one game, like doing all types of shit that LeBron's never done in his 40s. Or
Yeah, he's
this
never
late
played
in his
82.
career.
You're right. He's never played 82 in his 40s.
He did,
You are
he did,
absolutely
he did.
right.
Well, who
No,
cares about
no.
playing 82
LeBron,
games? That just
LeBron,
means you're stupid.
I will
That
set
just
the
means you're
record.
stupid.
LeBron will never play 80. LeBron will never play 82 games again in his career.
Yeah, but he will play 22, 23, 24 seasons maybe. That's the difference.
That's
He
fine.
played more
won't
games
play-
than MJ.
MJ every time.
That doesn't
he came out
matter
on the
though,
court.
right? Just as long as he did
Every
82
time he came
games
out on
in
the
one
court,
season.
he won
So
a
if
team
MJ
to
only played, look,
MJ wasn't
to
sitting.
guys like him, like Michael Jordan's career spanned 6 years with 2 breaks in between them. And Washington never happened. The first half of his career never happened.
No,
the
all
years
that's
that
part
he
of
was
it.
injured, he missed half a season. He sat out
And he
games.
still averaged 30
They
for his
padded
career.
his stats. They made up stats for him. Proven made up stats. Like they
Padded his
said,
stats.
they listed like the team having 3. Kari. They listed one team having 3 turnovers the whole game, and on the stat sheet it said MJ had 5 steals in that game. How do you have 5 steals with 3 turnovers? I don't know. It's just MJ's just as magic, right? It's just magical. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So
I'm pretty sure
I
it's a lot
had
of his
this,
points are padded
argument
too.
with Hugh before. I said, Hugh, if you want to make that argument and you want to confirm, right, there was a game that they gave him 2-3 extra steals. I said, let's give him 100 extra steals. Who gives a fuck? It's not going to
Nobody
change
gives a
his.
fuck.
It's not going to change. It's a
It's
rounding
not gonna
error.
change how you
for,
feel.
for a 15, 16-year career.
But
It's
see,
a
you know what?
rounding
The
error.
facts,
So
like
let's
Ben
say they messed
Shapiro
up
say
100
facts don't care
times.
about your feelings.
I mean,
your
it's not about
feelings
that.
are so hard for
Get-
this
Get
man.
me to the point. If you say they stole,
You let this man
2,000
rub his
steals,
semen on your chest because
No.
you are that
But
in
Hugh,
love with him.
but Hugh,
you be
you
like,
have to make-
you would let like you would literally let that man because it's Jordan.
You have to
want
make
Jordan
the point. You have to make the point where it's not a rounding error. You're saying, oh, they took 3 steals.
That's a rounding error.
Yes,
multiple
of a
times
career?
during the season.
Okay, multiple times.
With
Time out.
videotape.
Okay, let's say there's 100. Let's say
He
there's
won
100.
Defensive Player
Let's
of the
say
Year
there's
that year.
100. Let's say there's
It probably was
I will-
100, maybe 1,000.
Okay,
Who the
let's
fuck
say
knows?
let's say it's 200. I will go to his career steals minus 200. It's the
Yeah.
same like it's the same, and then divided by his total games, and it's a fucking rounding error. It's the same like Gretzky. It's the same like Gretzky. Ovechkin just won the points thing, right? 895. You can literally subtract all of Gretzky's 895 goals, and he's still the all-time points leader. What are we talking about? Before Kareem was not the leading all-time scorer, nobody said Kareem was the GOAT. Everybody said MJ was. Nobody said, oh, because he has the most
Chicago
points in
said
the
he
league.
was the GOAT
Then
because they
all
put
of
it
a
on a
sudden,
fucking statue
MJ,
in 1993.
LeBron has the most points ever. Then all of a sudden, that's some kind of like thing that we should accommodate him for. No, nobody cares about that. It's
Nobody
about the
cares
fact
about
that
how many points you score. Okay.
No, because nobody does. Because if that was the case, there's a lot of people that have more points than a lot of other people that I would not put them.
LeBron
above
has the
as far as
most
a great.
points in NBA history.
And I'm not saying
playoffs and regular season.
Okay, but at the
MJ
same
doesn't
time,
do that. Never did that.
But at the same time, does it account to 6 championships? Does it account to
Bill
defensive
Russell
player
has
of the year?
12,
Does it
11
account
or
to
something like
as
that.
a guard? He got defensive player of the year, MVP,
Off of padded stats.
regular. Oh my, padded stats, Finals MVP. You know what was padded stats? Karl Malone getting the fucking MVP when he should have gotten it. That was a padded stat. No reason
that
Karl
happened
Malone
to
should have gotten
LeBron
it.
in 2018. He should have won it over James Harden.
And I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
But that
see,
they
that's-
always it
that's the
doesn't
thing.
matter.
You're
They
not
don't give it
honest.
to the same guy 9 years. LeBron should have won MVP at least 12 times. At least 12
MJ
times.
should have won it every. MJ should have basically run it every year. I
do you
mean,
figure?
most
How?
valuable player
Every year?
every year.
Even
after
when they
they
was
started winning
losing?
championship. When they started,
LeBron been to the final 8 times.
If you take
and
Jordan
they,
off
out
that,
of those, 10 times, and out of those years, he was arguably the best player in the league every year. He should have won like 10 MVPs already.
Well, how many
but no,
times-
they gave it
okay.
to Randos. They gave
How
it
many
to Kevin
times-
Durant.
how-
They gave it to James Harden. They gave it to Russell Westbrook for averaging a triple double and losing. Like it's all about narratives. It's all about the story behind how you got there. If it's the same
MJ
story,
is
I'm
by
the best
far-
player on the
I-
best
I don't-
team every year.
I don't think LeBron is
Best
the greatest player ever.
Okay.
MJ is
You're
the
out of
greatest
your
player
fucking-
ever.
You
No, a
don't
lot of
think
people.
logically about
A
it.
lot
You
of
just look
people.
at it from a
A lot of
nostalgia
people.
standpoint.
A lot
You
of
see
NBA
this
players.
degenerate gambler who had his father
Okay.
killed, dunking from half court
This
with
is what he
his
goes
tongue
to all the
out.
time.
with his tongue out, and you're happy. You're like, oh my god, I remember those days when Jordan did X, Y, and Z, and then bulky ass shoes that I wear casually now that hurt my feet. Fuck out of here, yo.
And
like
Jordan
that
played
shit,
80. Jordan played 80 or more games 11 times in his 11 seasons in his
Who
career.
gives a fuck?
That's the thing. You don't care about that. I think it's harder to play every game, and then go bust ass in the playoffs and score 50 and have 50 pieces in the playoffs. I think
But
that's
he didn't
harder.
have. Yo, he ran.
I
bro,
think it's harder. I think
those
it's harder.
Bulls teams
You think
ran
you
through
think, no,
a bunch of G League
it's
motherfuckers.
Not about running through. It's not about running through. It's about coming to work every goddamn day, and then you go to the playoffs and you bust ass still. I think that's harder. You think
LeBron's
it's,
done that for 20.
No, he hasn't.
For 20
you think
years.
It's the same. You think
Arguably
it's the
20
same.
years.
You think it's the same to play 62.
You don't go to the finals 11 times, I think, in his career.
But again,
11.
Hugh,
Jordan's only been to the finals 6 times.
Hugh, 6-0.
Jordan's been to the finals 16 years in the league.
6-0.
So 10 years. No, 10 years in the league, he only been to the finals 6 times. And he beat mediocre teams. Mediocre West Coast teams.
Well, guess what?
Fucking fat Charles Barkley.
Guess what? LeBron lost to mediocre teams. Guess what?
Kevin
LeBron
Johnson's
lost
not
to
even the
mediocre-
Hall of Fame,
Guess
by
what?
the way.
Guess what? LeBron was a higher seed in the first fucking round with home court advantage. And guess what?
the first
They got
round.
the ass. Yes,
In the first round.
First round exit. And he
Has
was
he
the
ever
favorite.
been a favorite? Yo,
And he
he's
was the
only been
favorite
a
in the first
favorite in
round.
the finals once.
No. I'm
Once.
saying first round.
Once.
First round.
Shaun.
When was Jordan a
Shaun,
favorite in the
Shaun,
first round and got swept, basically?
No. Jordan has been a favorite every
Favorite in
round
the first round.
of that run.
In the first round?
Every round. Every
No,
round
I'm
of
saying-
that run,
I'm saying,
he was the
in
favorite.
the first round, when did he get
Every round
gentleman's
of
swept?
that run, his team was the favorite because they were a very good team. I ain't
No,
gonna lie, they're a very
when
good
he
team.
got a gentleman, when he got gentleman's
LeBron
swept.
took fucking Alexander Varejao and some bald Ukrainian guy to the finals in 2007 against 3 Hall of Fame Spurs and got swept. Yes.
Oh, of course,
But
of course.
Jordan
Yeah.
couldn't do that.
Who did they play?
Jordan had
that
a
year?
similar. Jordan had a better team than him in the 80s and in the mid 80s and whatever,
okay.
and couldn't even get out the first round.
You know the Eastern Conference was fucking
Again,
10,000 times
couldn't
better.
get out. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because it had Larry Bird.
No, Hall of Famers. Detroit Hall of Famers. The whole
Okay.
but
they
three
wasn't-
out of the starting
no,
lineup.
Even
Four
if
of
he
the
got
starting
past,
lineup, Hall
if
of
he got
Famers.
past Bird and the Pistons,
when
if he got
Jordan
past
dropped-
Boston and
when
the
Jordan
Pistons,
dropped
he's not going to beat.
63
He's not going to beat the Lakers in the finals.
When Jordan dropped 63
He wouldn't
in
even
Boston,
beat Portland in the
when
finals
Jordan
back
dropped
then.
63 and they lost that game, that Boston had only lost one fucking game the entire season at home. The entire season.
They lost
This is
the
the stuff
game.
I'm talking about. But this is what I'm
What are
talking
you
about.
He
dropped
lost the game. This is what they do. This is what these
It's
Jordan
not
people
what they
do.
do. It's
He
not what
loses
they
the
do.
fucking game, and they're like, "Oh my god, it was the greatest performance ever." This nigga scored 63 in a losing game.
Yeah.
They won that game.
No, they didn't.
No, they lost that game.
They lost.
In Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
they got swept.
What? I will say
It
this.
was so amazing. It
They
was
got
so
swept.
I will
amazing.
say this
amazing
to I
that
will
they
say this
lost.
to LeBron's credit. It has taken them
LeBron, look.
Up to
they don't
now,
they give zero credit.
it's taking him now to lose as many first round exits as it took Jordan in like a quarter of the time.
I agree. Look, but it's a different Eastern Conference. The Eastern
What are you
Conference
talking
is
about? Oh my god!
It's. I mean,
The
what am I
Eastern
talking about?
What was the Eastern Conference when Jordan was in that run? Who was good in the East?
Okay. Knicks.
The Knicks. You're saying the Knicks were their competition? The Knicks.
Detroit.
Detroit was nothing. No. Detroit did not
Hold
get
on,
good
what?
until the early 2000s.
What? Hold on, Hugh. Did you watch
Bad Boy
basketball in the
Pistons?
90s? Yeah,
No,
I was gonna say
they never
did you
beat
watch
the Pistons. They never
No,
beat the Pistons. Besides when they
you
got
asked
old.
who was good. You asked who was good.
Pistons
I'm
were
naming
not
teams
good.
that were good.
They were
So
injured
what
and
year?
shit when they
What year?
finally beat
What
them.
year are you talking about? That Pistons.
I'm
weren't
talking
good?
about when they went on their run, when they finally beat the Pistons.
No, I'm talking about. You said what teams were good. I said the reason why Jordan was not getting through the Eastern Conference because the Eastern Conference was better. And you said who did they have?
There were great
And I started
teams
naming
in
teams. They were great,
during
all-time great
LeBron's
teams.
era?
All-time
Miami
great teams.
was good. Miami
hold
was
on.
good. They won a finals in
Hold on,
2006.
Hugh, please, I want you to be
This-
honest. While
2008
while-
Celtics?
Okay, no. I want you to be honest about this. I want you to be honest about
2008 Celtics.
Okay,
You don't think
okay,
Garnett, Ray Allen,
this. Okay.
Paul Pierce? Are you serious?
Okay.
Bron beat the shit out of them all in their fucking prime.
Okay.
None of them niggas was old when LeBron beat them. None of them.
Here's a question I have for you.
They were old when they went to Brooklyn.
What would you consider LeBron's era? What would you consider from what year to what year? What year to what year? What would you consider LeBron's era?
I'll say 2007 to 2021.
Okay. And
that's a long time.
Yeah. And
that's a lot of
perfect.
seasons.
No. I really like that. And does he have the most championships during his era? Because you named his era. You said it's LeBron's era. Did he win the most championships during his era? It's his era, right?
Tied for the most, yeah.
Tied for the most. So what would you say was MJ's era? What years? Because who was eating? Who was eating off of MJ's plate
90s.
when it was his era?
His era?
Nobody.
Nobody. Actually, his era
he left for 2 years, and guess what? One team
he
won
went
both
from
back-to-back.
85. No. His era. No. His era was 85.
Where he was
his
dominating.
Rookie year. Yeah.
Oh, so you got
as an individual player? Are you talking about as an individual player or as a team?
His era,
See, this is
where
where
he's
you fuck
dominating
things
the
up.
league.
Dog.
I'm giving you the same benefit of the doubt.
No. You're fucking things
Corey,
up. You're
I just
saying
said
to
his
me.
era. You name it. You name
LeBron's
it.
era as an individual player
dominating
was
the league.
2006 to 2021.
Okay.
Jordan's era as an individual player was 85 till
so dominating. Okay, let me redefine this. When
98, 99.
The era of LeBron,
and it was all downhill from there.
Okay, the number one player in the league.
He was the best dog.
He
He dropped 28 a game in his fucking freshman year.
Here's my thing.
He was average, dog. Numbers, stat wise, Jordan was the man.
Okay. So who else? So who has?
But his team sucked.
Okay. Who has 6 or more championships?
Who gives a fuck?
That's all I like to see. Because you're
then Bill Russell should be your man. Then shut the fuck up.
I'm talking about. Let's go to anything. Dope. Let's go to anything. Who's the man in whatever?
Selling dope. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. In my opinion, I'm trying to give you an operation of my mind.
That's an opinion.
In my mind. No, I'm not. I'm saying it's an opinion. Yes, I give you that. But I'm saying how we don't get to the same place. In my opinion, in my mind, if we bring a plate of food and in your profession, whatever it is, if the man, the number one guy, doesn't eat the most, then in my opinion, that's me. That's how I operate. You don't operate that way. I think whoever eats just as much as that person is not the man. They're sharing it with another person. MJ didn't share a goddamn thing. He won 6-0, finals, MVPs, defensive player of the year. He wasn't sharing a goddamn thing. Nothing.
For the first 9 years of his career.
I'm talking about nobody left in his era
watch.
with 6 or more rings. Nobody.
His era was 1985.
Even after he left, nobody has 6 or more rings. Nobody. He hasn't played. He hasn't played in 24 years, and nobody has 6 or more rings.
Again,
nobody has 5. I mean, just like, come on. Who's the man? And you still didn't do what MJ did during your fucking tenure. For 22 years.
Let's use Steph Curry.
I'm just saying, do what MJ did for a longer time.
No. Let's just say Steph Curry, because he's at that level of LeBron as far as superstar status, right? He did it with the same team. So there's two other guys that did it with him. Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. But Steph is the top guy, right? Does Steph win?
About KD.
No, KD only won 2 chips with them.
I mean, when he was there, he was the man.
Yeah, he was MVP.
Okay, yeah.
He was the best player on the team.
Okay, yeah, he was. But what's the difference? LeBron won 4. Who was the best player on all LeBron's teams? LeBron, right?
I'm not saying.
He won 4 finals
I told
MVPs.
you LeBron's on my Mount Rushmore.
Steph Curry, Andre
Iguodala
won an MVP over Steph Curry. Kevin Durant won the other 2. Steph won it once with Golden State,
but
in the finals once. That's not the greatest player on the team. He didn't show up and show out in the finals.
I'm saying, if you are the man, if you are the person, if you are the alpha,
so you can't even
say
say to me.
If you are the apex, if you are the alpha, there were men that played with Jordan that were other apexes and alphas, and they went to Jordan and said, "No, that's the motherfucker." MJ. Magic Johnson, that's the motherfucker. Bird, that
HIV Johnson?
No. When MJ dropped fucking 63 in Boston Garden, he said literally after the game, I just saw fucking Jesus play in basketball shoes. I just saw God play. And like, the motherfuckers wasn't saying, like, I'm just trying to explain something to you. It was
because
different.
they never saw anybody play like that. There's motherfuckers in the G League doing the same shit Jordan does now. What are you talking about?
Okay. I like to I like when things translate. You don't feel like Jordan got lucky winning 6-0 rings. I don't think that was luck. I think it was dedication, playing every game
versus actual.
Bro, you can anybody. You see all the videos come out. Craig Hodges is doing a bunch of shit right now on podcasts. He's like, yo, I never saw MJ lose a fucking suicide. It went all through and through. The motherfucker was
What
not
does that have to
walking
do
through
with
the
anything?
It has
Kobe's
everything
the
to do
same
with-
way. Kobe only won 5 chips.
So for me,
What are you
there's
talking
levels,
about?
There's levels to this shit to me. You play
Kobe
82,
lost
you
a
show
lot.
every-
MJ lost
I
a
know,
lot. They
I'm
all
just
lost.
saying- I'm
LeBron
just
has
saying,
made it to the finals
it's not
half
about-
of his fucking
it's
career.
Not about losing it's not about losing a lot. I'm just talking about he played on Chicago. Yes, he had that stint obviously with the Wizards, but
Dog, you can't-
he played on one fucking team and he got through the
Yeah,
hard
yeah,
times.
I get it.
And
I
went,
get what
and
you're
got,
saying.
and
Dog.
did what he had to do. Resilient.
Dog, when Bron has carried.
He went
carried
fucking
LeBron
teams
went to a team on his back
He
in a
wasn't even
competitive nature. He was the only guy averaging 45 points.
Dwayne Wade was the man on Miami.
Dog.
Dwayne Wade, when LeBron went to Miami, that was Dwayne Wade's team. That was Dwayne Wade's team.
The first, that one
Yes, the
finals.
first year.
That's the only thing. That's the
Dwayne
only
Wade
thing
already
I'll ever
had
say
that hardware.
LeBron fucked up was
Dwayne
that
Wade
first
already
year.
had that hardware.
Okay,
LeBron was
yeah.
going over to him to figure
Exactly.
out how to get that done.
Exactly.
So, that's what I'm saying.
Because he
Could
never
you
had real
imagine-
help.
Could you imagine
He didn't have
MJ
Scottie
going to
Pippen.
the Lakers,
He didn't have
MJ
Shaq
going to
either.
the Knicks, MJ going to a rival? No, MJ wanted to get that shit out of the mud. I respect
Yeah,
that. I
but
give
they
that. I
had
give him an extra
Scottie
notch.
Pippen.
Yes, he had
had,
Scottie Pippen, but look at go back and
what's
look at
his
what
name
Scottie
with the
Pippen did
goggles?
on some of these games that they lost, some of these first round exits. Look at Scottie Pippen's stats and look at MJ's stats. I know you put Scottie Pippen up there, and I do as well. But look at those early years and look at Scottie Pippen's stats. Look at the
What year-
comparison.
see
the comparison.
Pippen came in the league, what, 87?
He was like,
or 86?
yeah, he was like around the same 87, 88, some.
Yeah, and then they got, what's his name with the goggles, and then they started winning.
Look, Scottie Pippen.
88 was when they started winning.
So look,
And they beat the
So
old
Scottie Pippen, here we go.
Pistons, And I
so
don't care about Scottie Pippen's numbers. My point is that LeBron, on sheer skill and competitive nature alone, has carried teams that weren't worth a lick of shit all the way to the finals against the best competition in the world at that time. Jordan had a very good competitive team that won a ton of games. If you look at the numbers, they won almost damn near 60 games a season and were favorites every round of the playoffs when they were winning. And they beat mediocre, like teams that never made the finals before. Phoenix never made the finals. Fucking Sonics made the finals only once with a young Gary Payton and Shaun Kemp. Phoenix, well, you said Phoenix. I said Phoenix already. Who else they beat in the finals? I don't even remember.
Lakers.
They beat a bunch of shitty teams in the finals, bro.
Hold on. So you don't remember this?
Who did they beat
So you
in
don't
the
remember?
finals?
So you
That
don't
was
remember?
good.
So so I guess you forget
Only
the
beat
Dallas
them Lakers,
series.
right?
I
The
forget
Lakers.
you
That
I
was
guess
his
you
first
forget.
ring.
I
Yeah,
guess
but
you,
the
I
Lakers,
guess
they
you-
were injured.
I guess you forget the
name?
Dallas series. I
two
guess
of
you
the
forget
dudes
when
were injured.
Miami. I guess you forget when fucking LeBron disappeared in the finals against.
No, I just
Dallas.
told you that is the only time where I feel like LeBron failed.
So
in his career.
okay, and that's
As
what
an
I'm saying.
individual contributor, as an
yes,
individual.
Perfect. Yes, perfect. Q. That's what I'm saying, and that's the part that I'm saying. There's a big
And
disconnect.
Jordan failed 9 times before that.
No, I'm talking about to you. I'm talking about to you. Give me the time that Jordan collapsed in the finals.
What doesn't matter? What?
Again,
He
it
only
doesn't
made it
matter
to 6
for
finals.
It matters for Jordan fans. It doesn't matter for LeBron fans. That's
He
what
had
makes it
help,
so
and
great.
I'm not.
Oh my
I'm giving you
God.
that.
He
I'll
had
give you
help.
that.
Who was on the
But, like,
LeBron team? Hold
dog,
on, you said
dog,
who was on
every
the LeBron
other
team when
time?
he lost against
Dog, dog,
against Dallas? Who was on
dog.
that team? Who was on that team?
Everybody, Bosh, Wade, everybody. But it's a
Hall
team
of
sport,
Famers.
bro.
Hall of Famers.
It's a team sport. If
Hall
LeBron
of
can't,
Famers.
if LeBron's not pulling his weight, the other guys
then
should
it's
be
his
pulling their
fault.
weight too.
Then it's his fault. Then it's his fault.
It's
He's
his
the
fault.
man. He's the
I
he's
know.
the he's the
Yes.
King James.
I
That's what
know.
I'm saying.
And again,
that's what I'm saying. When
that
when
is
when
on- that's
MJ went to
something
the
I'm not-
finals,
dog,
it
dog,
was game over.
dog.
Good night. Bye bye.
Take over.
Bye bye.
When he made it to he didn't make it to the finals until he had a
my
a really
God.
good team.
You really can. You LeBron fans can discredit 6-0 in the finals.
I'm not
I
discrediting
can't.
that.
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are. You said when he did, he got
Well,
lucky. He had
then why do you discredit Bill Russell?
he didn't play nobody. I don't discredit Bill Russell.
Oh
How
my
do I
God.
discredit him? How
Then
do I
he should be your
discredit him?
GOAT because this motherfucker at Finals MVP every year. Even that white dude, that fucking what I say, I made a comparison video
Okay,
about
let me,
the two.
Let me just
that motherfucker.
I'm gonna break this down. Then I gotta go. But here's what I think about with GOAT.
Dead wrong, yo. You just love this nostalgia
No, here's
bullshit.
what I think about as GOAT, in my opinion. Intangible, right? The influence that someone has over the league. Okay, I put that in a factor of GOAT category. The influence, the marketability, all of that is a big factor into like pushing the league forward. MJ, I mean, to this point, I don't even think we've seen anything like it as far as that. But number two,
Steph Curry probably even
come on.
Number
two,
they look at that old MJ shit like, what the fuck is he doing? They even play
number
defense?
two,
like, what the fuck
the it factor of like the competitiveness, run through a wall, want to fucking murder you to win a game. That I'm gonna play every game no matter what, all 82. I put that high on the list when it comes to GOAT category. I do. I mean, I just do. I put that high. Number 3, defensive, both sides of the coin. MJ was a 9-time first team defensive player. 9-time. Okay. He won defensive player of the year. I put that high, especially as a guard. Number four.
The year he won it, they padded his stats.
Number 4.
And LeBron got robbed of defensive player of the year. That one time, but Marc Gasol won it. Like that didn't even make no fucking sense.
Number 4, the overall bag that you have. I'm not putting LeBron's bag as far as a tool player against MJ. I'm sorry, you can do that if you want to, but
LeBron
run down the court and you overpower.
LeBron has an interior game, and he can do everything. LeBron can do everything.
Again, I'm not.
MJ again played in an era where that shit was unheard of.
I'm not even going to talk about footwork and how Jordan played. I mean, if you want to put LeBron in that category, have at it. Olajuwon's one of my favorite on the footwork side. On as a center, you may put Shaq, not me. That's just me personally. So
Olajuwon was very skilled.
So those.
Didn't have a long career like Shaq.
And the last segment of this is how you perform in the finals. And to me, LeBron's been to the finals a shit ton of times, and Jordan still has more championships. I feel like that's a slight, a chink on his armor.
It's a competition thing. Who did you face in the finals versus who
did you get through to get to the finals, though? That's what I'm saying. You have more chances.
He didn't get through, dog. He beat up an old Pistons team. Yeah, I don't even know. The
East was the most competitive in the 90s.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not the most competitive in the 90s.
Okay.
That's the expansion era. They had a bunch of new teams, and all the superstars are concentrated in certain places. The best teams, you're saying like maybe the Knicks in the East. I don't even think anybody else compared to like the Knicks and maybe Miami, Orlando and Miami, maybe. Those are the only teams that had decent teams in the 90s. And they were nothing compared to the Bulls. None of those teams.
So, okay.
Orlando, and then Orlando with Penny and Shaq were the closest thing to it. They almost beat them. With Jordan, mind you, they would have beat Orlando with Pippen. I mean, with Penny and Shaq, probably would have beat Jordan, like realistically, if he was still playing there.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
that's all I'm saying, bro.
I mean,
y'all don't know.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
You don't understand what I'm saying.
I don't understand. So let me get this straight. So when Detroit Pistons in '89 beat Lakers 4-0 in the finals, that was a bad team, right? Because that was
Pistons beat who in the finals?
Yeah. Pistons beat Lakers 4-0, swept them.
Okay.
Swept them. Okay. And they won it again.
What year?
They won it again the next year.
Yeah.
88, 89. They won it again the next year, 89, 90.
Yeah, Joe Dumars used to shut down Michael Jordan a lot. And he shut down Magic, too. Joe Dumars shut down Magic, but you forget that he shut down Jordan.
See, this is what you do.
This is what I do. I'm telling you, there was a guy who shut down your man so he couldn't get out of the playoffs.
You literally go, the East was shit. There was nobody in the East in the 90s. And then I talk about something. You say, oh, no, that person was
I'm talking about Jordan's era. Joe Dumars was old when Jordan started winning. Isaiah Thomas was old and washed when Jordan started winning.
Hugh, you're saying the 90s. 90s. Okay, 90s.
Now he's saying, I'm turning it into, like, see what he does? See what he's doing?
I don't understand what you want.
You gotta jump in here and just say something.
No, I don't know what you want.
Brother, I don't even know what the debate is anymore. Like, are we, because I'm still trying to understand. This is how people must look at me when we talk about Drake and Kendrick. Are we discrediting Jordan as being like a GOAT? Because I'm lost.
No, I'm not just. I'm saying.
So what is your stance?
Okay, my stance is that his greatness is a fraud. It's made up by a bunch of old motherfuckers who are holding on to old memories. Because
that's outlandish to say.
No, it's not outlandish
Yes.
to say
Yes, it
because if that's the case, because they did this like old mother. My dad would say Kareem was the greatest or Bill Russell was the greatest because of their pedigree, because of how many championships they won, how long they played, all that shit. Jordan got lucky. He got lucky because two things.
The guy who beat those people you just mentioned?
Who?
Jordan. He got lucky?
Yeah, he did. Because
How?
the time when Isaiah
So at this point, we're just discrediting Jordan as a skillful, masterful basketball player.
He's dog. If not the best, one of the best point. I mean,
so what is the argument then?
The argument is who's having or has a better career. LeBron has had a better career.
Statistically, based off certain accolades, yes, but Jordan also is a 6-time championship GOAT.
So is Bill Russell.
Yeah,
Bill Russell won 11.
But
but what was Bill Russell's contribution to his team in comparison to Michael Jordan's?
He was the MVP.
And then
you said
using
your logic, he was playing a bunch of old motherfuckers from the 1940s.
The games are different. The game, each era is different.
You said
okay. So in his era, like Shaun was saying, Michael Jordan was that nigga.
Yeah, exactly. And the East was East was the toughest. East was the toughest. Detroit won back-to-back championships in 89 and 90, back-to-back championships. Jordan came in 90, 91, 92, 93, back-to-back-to-back. Right?
He retired.
They beat Lakers 4-1, Portland 4-2, Phoenix 4-2. And then Houston, one team when he left. One team won back-to-back. Houston won back-to-back. And then guess what happened after that? 95-96, Bulls. 96-97, Bulls. 97-98, Bulls. Do you see a trend? Do you see a trend here?
Dennis Rodman.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan.
LeBron has had
Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan.
But I'm saying, you acting like Kyrie's not a Hall of Famer. You acting like Kevin
you
Love.
can argue Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade.
I'm saying that he had the privilege of having a very good team. But you act like he did it by himself. This is the problem with these Jordan people.
Like he did it by himself.
But you got to admit, every time LeBron won, minus that amazing categorical season with beating the Warriors, like one of the LeBron championships happened on the bubble year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yikes. Yeah. That's a big asterisk. That's a question mark.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Bro, why?
It's just like the 55-game season with the Knicks went to the finals.
Are they all not professional athletes that were playing in the bubble?
See, now you're using that argument. You can say that wasn't all the
I'm not saying no. I know it's a weaker championship, but it's also the same argument as saying that it was an expansion era for Jordan where it got it so easy.
So was all 6 of Jordan rings during this?
The second half of his run was the expansion era. There was teams that only won like 15 games. There was like 4 or 5 teams on each conference that won 15 games or some shit. There was such shitty competition back then.
What year are you talking about?
The second run. That was the expansion era when they brought in Toronto and the Charlotte and all that, whatever teams were at the bottom.
It's just like anything else. Those teams weren't gonna be in this teams right now. So you know what the funny thing is? There's play-in games now.
If you're the best,
they're letting everybody into fucking playoffs now. So
the play-in actually makes it a little more fairer to get teams at that mid-level because now it's so competitive. They're
letting too many teams in.
The difference between the top and the bottom and the middle is so far. Like the middle teams now have 50 wins. Dude,
what I'm saying, Hugh.
50 wins of the middle teams now. Hugh. That's crazy.
So again.
This year, the 50 teams.
You can however you want to slice it.
Look at the stats.
However you want to slice it.
Go look at the conferences back then. The bottom teams, none of them won more than 30 games.
However you want to slice it, Hugh.
None of them won more than 30 games.
However you want to slice it, Hugh.
That's a 20-game differential. And sometimes a 30-game winner might sneak into the playoffs like MJ's team.
Other people were eating a lot during LeBron's era. Tim Duncan was eating a lot. Steph was eating a lot during LeBron's era.
Tim Duncan ate during Jordan's era.
What are you talking about? Hold on,
Duncan
are you
won a chip in the 99 or the 97 or some shit, right? When did he win a chip? In the late 90s. They won a chip in the late 90s.
He didn't win the chip until Jordan left.
Yeah. Well, they
won
was
in the late 90s, though, like 99 or some shit.
They won in the 2000s, late 2000s.
No, the Spurs won in the 90s. They had with David Robinson or some shit. David Robinson's last year. David Robinson
after Jordan retired. After Jordan retired. 98. Yeah, after Jordan retired. Yes. That's
Jordan retired for the third time?
But
this nigga had to take year off breaks to go gamble and fucking...
Hugh, But here's
Beat
what
the
I'm
Jets.
saying.
Shit.
Here's what I'm saying, and this is the glaring thing you don't understand. LeBron didn't
never
have
took
to
a break.
LeBron, yes, and nobody had him to need to take a break for them.
He
to
went
eat.
to 8 straight finals. Eight straight finals. Pretty much by himself for most of those shits.
But other people were
couple
winning
of
a
those
lot
shits.
more than he was winning in the finals, Hugh. And that's what I'm
Who?
saying.
Random
What do you mean?
teams that were great.
Yes,
the Golden
yes,
State
random
fucking
teams.
Warriors.
And you know when Jordan went to the finals, no one won. And you know when Jordan wasn't in the league, other people won. Other people
Because he
created
beat
dynasties.
when he wasn't making the finals, he left the league and his team sucked.
So where was Houston? Where was Houston when Jordan had a first three-peat and a second three-peat? Where was Houston? How come in between his two three-peats, all of a sudden Houston wins back-to-back? Where the fuck were they the year before? Where were the year after that?
I don't know.
There's something.
I don't know the history of it. Somebody got injured. The team fell apart. Somebody signed with somebody else that was good.
And then
I don't know.
And then all of a sudden when Jordan retires, all of a sudden the Spurs are a dynasty. All of a sudden, they got lucky.
No, it wasn't because they had David Robinson and the #1 draft pick of fucking what's
But
his
I'm
name?
saying people
and the
get
best
#1
coach in
draft
the league,
picks during
and they were
Jordan's
still
era.
they were putting up 50+ win seasons before while Jordan was in the league.
This to you well
The
enough.
Spurs
People
were
get
always
draft
good,
picks.
and then they get Manu Ginobili
Oh
and
my God.
fucking
Okay,
what's his name?
But we can point to
Duncan.
people that get good players and all of those things. We can point to those things happening. The league doesn't stop making trades and
Yeah, and Jordan, when these good players got in the league, or when another team started showing dominance, what did Jordan ironically do? I want to play baseball. I want to retire.
So you try to say, okay, on that note, I got to go. You try to say he
ran the man decides when he wants to play.
You try to say Jordan ran away from some shit. Come on.
He did.
Come
I
on.
think he did. To be honest, that should be the
was
argument
scared
now.
He was scared of competition.
He was scared of competition, yeah. I think so.
Okay.
I think so. At this point.
All right.
Because those are pretty damn good teams that could have beat the Bulls.
Okay.
Ironically.
Yeah.
You got
So,
Orlando
and then
almost
Jordan
took
came
him
back.
out a couple times.
Houston won 2 in a row. Jordan came back into the three-peat again.
They got Dennis Rodman to beat Orlando.
Three-peat.
They had to
back
get
to
Dennis
back to
Rodman.
back. He did it twice. Hugh, he did it twice. I mean, come on. He did it twice. Right. I mean, motherfuckers that play in rec league, if they didn't play in a year, would suck. Playing rec league, he came back and won 3 in a row again. Yeah. I don't give a fuck who he's playing with. I don't care who he's playing with. I mean, there was a team with the Lakers that had Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaq, Kobe.
Oh my God.
Shaq and Kobe weren't old.
Karl Malone.
And you know
off
what?
The bench.
And you know what? The Detroit Pistons beat them in the finals in 5 games. They didn't even win 2 games. So you're going to tell me a team with Shaq and Kobe can't win 2 games against Detroit Pistons? And you're not even going to put Detroit Pistons from the 90s
playoffs?
up there?
Did you watch those playoffs when Kobe couldn't hit a damn shot?
So you're going to say Isaiah
You don't
Thomas,
put that against him, though. He had a meltdown in the finals. He had a meltdown in the finals, too. Wow. Didn't he refuse to play in a playoff game?
So we're gonna put so Rip Hamilton
in the game 7.
Okay, so I know what it is.
Talk about giving all these guys out the eye of the tiger and all this other bullshit.
Rip Hamilton, and Chauncey Billups. You're putting up there with Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars. You're putting up there with those guys.
I think as a team, that Detroit Pistons team, Ben. Okay. What was his name?
You
Ben
say
Johnson
how Jordan had all
the
these great teams.
The defensive player of the year.
I'm talking about players.
Okay, players, yeah. Okay. But again, the mystique of Jordan is just magical to certain people, and they look at that as the only thing that matters. Yeah. Even though he lost a lot.
Defensive player of the year matters. MVPs matter. Finals MVP matters. Okay? Those things matter.
They matter. So, but at the end of the day...
having the best sneaker ever matters. Like, it matters. It just does.
I mean, whatever you say, bro.
It does.
Time will tell.
It does.
Look, we'll be dead and gone by the time they look backwards and say, but "Oh man, LeBron was the truth."
I do have to roll though.
Yeah, my battery about to die. Oh my God, brother! So now I know not to discuss Michael Jordan or Kendrick Lamar.
I don't even know where that came up on this thing. No, I mean, both him and I are both Drake people, so that's all good. We'll high five on that. Oh. Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
So on that note,
well, all right, fellas.
This
I'm gonna make sure I get my first take on next time. Have my stat sheets between Jordan and LeBron queued up.
Yep.
Ready to go.
Make sure your motherfucking camera and shit works.
I'm
not a half hour late.
Cause I should have been an hour late if I knew the majority of the podcast was gonna be
GOAT talk.
Yeah, man.
We should stop talking about basketball because this man is just he don't know nothing.
Nah, you start coming out with random ass facts and shit about people's gambling habits and dads. I'm like, God damn, why we bringing personal attacks into this shit? What the fuck? I was like, man, that man's father death was a tragedy. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Right?
I don't know, man. I heard there was some foul play in here.
Nah, I believe it was. I believe it was some fishy shit with that. But damn, we can't disrespect Jordan being one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT, bro.
No,
He's
I
the
never
man.
said that. LeBron's just better. That's all.
Yeah, that's arguable.
A bunch of haters. Anyway, this is the 12 podcast. Sports and current events edition. Episode
Second
15.
take.
Yeah.
No Shannon.
What she call? Wait, before you guys leave, what would she call this episode? I know it's definitely gonna be called something about
GOAT talk.
GOAT talk.
Yeah.
GOAT
talk.
Yeah. Right.
Kari gets lost in the GOAT talk.
Yeah, he was quiet. He was just like, damn.
Bro, I was entertained. If I'm entertained, then I know.
No, the last time we had it, remember that the girl was just sitting there in the middle, like, what the fuck
I know. Shorty must have been lost.
Oh yeah,
I think that's part of the reason why she quit. Because when we get on a topic that we don't agree on,
what the fuck is happening?
She's just like, damn. If she was in the same room, someone would get hurt. You know, it's all good though. Shaun's delusional. That's all. He's just. Just lives in
Shaun ready to be a sportscaster. He was ready. He was poised.
He's pulling up bullshit on his phone. He makes up stats. He makes up shit.
I'm not putting up nothing on my phone.
Everything I'm
actually trying to look at what the score is of the game right now for the Knicks.
Shit, I'm about to tune in.
We gotta get back to these games. All right, yo. See y'all next week.
All right, brothers.
All right.
Peace.